Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back here to the Intel Extreme Masters. Katowice Miners, we do apologize for the slight delay we've had in these last few minutes. Of course, it was Harry, my co-commentator, who managed to unplug everything.
I mean, I'm not going to take any responsibility for this one. I think, this... Okay, look. I had to charge my phone, all right? And I have needs, okay? And that might have put the whole tournament on the back burner, Hugo, but...
At least you're full charge.
Exactly, and it meant I could put out some quality memes. So there's always that. I haven't put any out. None of my memes are any good.
No, we're joking, of course. The power just surged in the building, but luckily we didn't lose any of the progress in-game. They are all on a different server and a different power line. So we've had the electricians in here, fixing it, doing the dirty work. Harry's been on his knees, hands and knees, plugging stuff in, going full Yanko, as we call it, and we should be ready to go. I can already see all the players are on the server. We're actually going live right now here. Yeah. Of course, this is Envy up against Team 1. We casted the first round, I think, before the power surge. We've missed a couple. It's 6-2. If you last remember, it was a 2-on-2 with Envy on the wrong site. They won that round, and they've been doing a great job ever since, Harry.
Yeah, they most certainly have. We're going to be getting back into this game as finally it is underway. And well, over here on this T side, missed shot from Maluki as he tries to take this early peek in through long. It does, however, force the AWP of JDM off of this angle. We do get to see that double AWP setup that you and me were discussing a lot earlier on between JDM and Nifty. In this round, we can see Drone goes blow for blow up here on short, and it will be Team 1 successfully able to trade that one out. We're back into a 4-on-4 here. For Envy, 3 players at this A-bomb site, trying to assemble a quick boost as they put Cutler up in a position on short. That was Carragher to throw him up here. Gonna get spotted by IDK. Won't lead to anything as the smoke falls. It does hold back this short aggression for the time being. Carragher gonna post himself up over here in mid, and Maluki just on the other side has to be careful. The barrel of that AWP is a big problem. They go running to their demise. Carrigan's going to take down 3 over here in mid. He holds his ground, and this round's been torn apart. The Danish IGL tearing through Team 1 as he's somewhat almost guaranteed this round now for Envy. Only 30 seconds left. That bomb's dropped over in mid. And with these AWPs on JDM and Nifty, they're just homing their sights in on this position. They're not keen on giving this bomb away. Carrigan up in the top of middle. And only 20 seconds left in this round. It will just be the save by the looks of things. He's going to try and go for it now. With just 10 seconds, has to make the decision. You either die or you save. And he's going to go ahead and save. Backs off. That will be Envy coming in with their 7th round here. Maybe Carrigan's even able to get him after the time. If he does, that is huge. Carrigan hears him, but Nikom is able to hold on to his AK.
Yeah, Nico M, nice
Nico
try.
M, rather. Yeah, same thing. Look,
actually, I don't even know that I'm right. I'm just assuming because of the capitalization.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. It's like we don't say Kenny's.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, big round from Carrigan there. He's got the big brain, the big frags, and he looks dangerously dashing in that Envy shirt, I will say.
He's mad. The old blue and black suit him.
Yeah, I like these colours. Yeah, media day went well for these guys.
Well, so one of the things you and I were touching upon, because it's been a while since the pre-game, was, we were saying we spoke to Carrigan, we sat down with Finn, and we heard his approach to how he's been trying to work with his team. And one of the things he said is he's trying to set Drone up to be a bit of the, to become one of the star players in this roster. Well, important to note, Drone currently top fragging, I believe, in the server, is having a standout performance, 15-4 right now. So clearly, whatever they have been doing to try and put him in these positions, set him up for big moments, has been working.
He's going nutty right now, and JDM on one of these AWPs here. We have 2 of them for Envy. As unsurprising as that sounds, considering the AWPing power on this team. He's not peeking, though. He's waiting for a late contact play to under. But Bit's not taking the fight. For now, you still got to worry about that cat presence. So Nifty gets a shot from mid. That stops the short push. And now this boost has to disassemble. Nifty going back in. More damage to Maluka. And he's just going to fall off the back of that. Right now, Envy sitting with players inside of the bomb site. 2 on B, still 3 on A. And 40 seconds as Team 1 with a man down try and take control of short. Now, JDM's back up here. He's got Cutler behind him as well to flash from him if needed. There's another tag. These players are getting just damaged dangerously low, and that Molotov might be able to finish off the job. Cutler with 3, locking down the site with the AUG. 25 seconds left up for IDK, and I don't think he knows what to do here either. It's 8 rounds for Envy. Nothing you can do there for Team 1. Pistols are pretty awful in Dust 2, especially on that T side. If you don't have Deagles, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, but especially running up against this team, right? With the potential, you know, we say double AWP, right? Realistically, you've got like 3 very, very strong AWPers in this team. Obviously, there was that kind of stint where Carrigan was AWPing. There's always been someone who floated the AWP, right? Can play with it. You understand why they go Nifty and JDM as the main 2 to pick those up, because for the longest time, and you know, for most of his career, Carrigan has been in at most the secondary AWP role. Molotov down up here towards short, and that does hold back this aggression from Team 1. They've been able to take control of Catwalk almost immediately. This leaves a lot of pressure on JDM at the crossroads. Hasn't been having the most lights-out game thus far. But a chance maybe to try and build up some momentum on him. Crucially, Maluki's not going to have the AWP over on the side of Team 1, so they don't really have much to challenge these AWPs with. Instead, you're going to be looking towards the utility usage to try and allow them to close this gap. And as they set up for this A play, let's see if they are able to use it to do exactly that. These smokes go down, and now this push looks to come in.
Yeah, the mollies are very good for Team 1. Very well forcing his drone into the open here. He gets flashed from his teammates, but they're already going to be able to take him down. Bits found himself a kill from the spawn, and Carrigan gets pressure from 2 angles at once, falling to Bit. Now Nifty's got to make the decision, do I stay or do I go? And he wants nothing to do with this. Wrapping back through the B tunnels, it's Team 1 taking the round unless Nifty can retake up from short, but he's not going to look to do it. Nico close behind, but Nifty should be able to at least get away with this AWP for now. Hold on to the exit of long, make sure the Team 1 don't come out through here at the end of the round. But it will be a 3rd taken from this T side. Now, both rounds Team 1 have had so far this map have been reset. Of course, the opening pistol, and then losing to the Force in the follow-up, and then after 3 rounds from Envy, Team 1 won another round, only for that to get reset. So they've not had the best of time when it comes to money on this T side, so it's important we see 3 guns saved here for Team 1. But also important that they hold strong in the follow-up round, with Envy having another full buy.
And, you know, we do see the AWP out over here on Team 1. It's actually to get thrown onto Bit. This is because he has the long spawn. So he's looking to try and find this opening peak. You imagine he's going to run towards this portion of the map and look to go blow for blow with JDM, who has been playing at this position. I think JDM had the close spawn, and indeed he did. So both players clash at long, but neither one able to find and get the shot off, largely on the back of that flashbang. That was thrown in from Cutler. Mid control now looking to be priority for Team 1. They lose that duel at long, and they're not keen on going back to it just yet. Likely going to have someone keep an eye on this, and that does seem IDK's job. He's there just to make sure Team MB don't get too aggressive down at long. And once again, back towards Catwalk. This is where they've had the majority of their success. Carrigan posted up on the angle, does have the AUG here. That Molotov's going to force him off, and you can see the reposition. This means JDM has to now fall back from long, which is where he was originally. Take up the mantle of Carrigan, of watching short. As now, once again, he sits here at the crossroads.
And still 50 seconds, Team 1. They have control of tunnels. They can always double back and go for a mid-to-B play, but right now it's looking like a fake. The bomb's still up on Catwalk, and Carrigan's getting pressured in the spawn. Bit doing his best to sell this. Even Nico M throwing in nades from the B tunnels, but Carrigan's taken down Bit, and now the short push is very clear. JDM's dropped the first man in, and 2. Bomb dropped as well. All the info in the hands of this CT side, and Carrigan, he thought he finished off the kill. He didn't. He just did damage, but JDM is there, side by side, brothers in arms. As Nico M now, last man surviving, not for long. This is a lockdown of the A site. And Envy, 9 rounds, again a reset to the economy of Team 1 Esports, and these guys just cannot catch a break.
I think things really do go from bad to worse here for the Brazilian squad. Tactical pause going to be called on in as they try and mull this one over. Issue they're going to have, as you see on Nico M and TRK, there's cash to go for the investment here, but on the rest of the gang there is not. Usually you could just look at this, say we're just going to partial buy up on those two that have a bit extra money, save a little for the AWP, and then, you know, just run the eco. But I think if you're Team 1, you're 9-3 down, and maybe at this point they're considering going for the force buy. Now, personally, I'd like to see, you know, as I said, maybe just a bit of a partial investment here and there, going for the force while you do have a chance of picking up the round. We've seen them struggle. It's really been the lack of the AWP, the lack of proper utility that has hindered them in past rounds. They make the decision to go with this buy here.
I still think it's the best option to buy up fully here, because if not, you still have a double eco coming in. Well, I guess you could wing with a single eco, but you wouldn't have a lot to play with. You wouldn't have that rifle with all utility on everyone in the follow-up round, so you don't want to double eco and then play for the last round of the half. That's giving you a max of 4 rounds, but realistically, you might get 12-3. So this buy at least solidifies the chance to, you know, bounce back with a force buy war. Keep Envy on their toes, but these guys have been already starting the CT side off very, very well. It's back to a long play for Team 1, 4 players here. Cutler's on the other side, but he's completely alone right now. He's got no support from anyone else on Envy. The closest man is JDM up on short. It's this boost up on long, but once the smoke fades, we're going to see Team 1 try and get out through the corner now. They should be somewhat focusing on the possibility of someone on their close left, so they will be flashing their way through, and Cutler's going to be ready for it to, almost at least, damage done to IDK, but Team 1 are going to be able to take long, and with JDM getting caught by the timing, that Molotov pushes a bit forward. He misses his shot. That was a huge opening, or at least a possibility for one, but with him not getting it, now the pressure is really going to fall on this T side.
JDM, he's lost the rest of his teammates, so now he stands here alone. Drone up through short is going to go ahead and delete bit, and that just leaves this push coming in from long. That gives JDM that much more room to maneuver inside of this A-bomb site. Room is one thing, though, and frags are another, and Drone has plenty of them. 3 kills there. As a 10th round is cemented for Envy, they're going to reach double digits very early on. 10-3, already a monumental CT side, and you know, then one of the big drawbacks of Team 1 going for that buy in the round there is now they are eco into this one. Bit buying up a flash TRK with the smoke, and I was imagining we'd see a fast B play with that sort of utility purchased up. But the issue they're going to have, Carrigan's already down here in the lower tunnels. He spots that first man, and now for JDM, it's just a bit of a shooting gallery over here in mid. A chance to pad those stats as he doubles down. Carrigan's in with another. Maluki. Oh, he's actually denied them picking that AWP up. Carrigan's trapped on the other side of the Molotov, so Team Envy, it's going to be a bit more of an expensive rebuy, but as you can see, the one benefit to being 11-3 up and the benefit to keeping a lot of them pretty clean is that cash is really one of the last things you have to worry about.
Especially for the last round of the half, this is going to have no consequence, so yeah, get everything you need here, full kits, full nades, and full buy. This time for Team 1 as well, although lacking the AWP, which definitely isn't fun considering what Envy have been pulling into this game. We've really not seen any AWPing for Team 1, mainly because we didn't watch the first like 6 rounds, but also because, you know, they've not had the money for it. So fast cat play in this one, but Carrigan going to let them pass and creep in behind. He spots that top mid presence, and there's no one lower as well. He knows that because his team have already pushed up into the tunnel, so this A play is going to come down to nifty.
Molotov going to fall. That does hold back the players up here on short. JDM in with another. He had a very quiet start to this matchup, but in the last few rounds, he has found his confidence, found his footing once again. Carrigan in with his 2nd kill of the round, keeping the aggression up. And Carrigan, he loves it. He loves the aggression. He'll get in your face, and then he'll shoot you in yours. That's going to be a 12-3 half in favor of Team Envy as they do grab the defuse. 20-7 on Carrigan. My goodness. He is looking to show that he still has what it takes to go toe-to-toe with the big dogs, and he's certainly having a great showing right now. Fantastic half from Envy. The second right around the corner. Can Team 1 pull this back? Find out after a quick break.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back. Currently, Envy sat 12-3 up after a very, very dominant half indeed over on their CT side. We see them move over into the T side now, and they're going to be given a chance to try and get off to an even better start. As we can see, 4 players over towards this B bomb site, and they're just going to go with a fast B play. One man here, that's Nico M up in the window. Flash still lands. It is a very deep flash indeed. He's not allowed to peek on the back of it. He's just getting blinded across the board. It's really not his day. But oh, there we go. That's why they're trying to keep him blind. They're trying to deny him vision, and Cutler will come in with the trade. Deals with the window man. But they've still got 4 players up here over on the side of Team 1. They've expelled all their utility on that initial take. That doesn't leave them with anything to use in this retake now. And JDM, he could be the fly in the ointment, the thorn in their side, and indeed he is. It leaves Bit in a 1v4, an almost impossible clutch into this B-bomb site. Nothing to try and force these engagements with. And while he does find one, that is it. They double peek into him, rather. Team Envy picking up the pistol here on Dust 2. This leaves Team 1 in a very awkward spot. You either have to take the force now, or you eco, and that's not going to leave you in a great place. I
think, yeah, things are falling apart for Team 1. 2 of those flashes that blinded Nico M were his teammates, both landing in the same spot. He didn't look away from either of them. He didn't know the trajectory, obviously, but, you know, when stuff like that's happening, you know it's a 13-3 scoreline. And what a performance this is from Team Envy. I mean, Karrigan and Drone as well, having an absolute ball, looking to go again and rush this B bomb site. There's only going to be a couple of players here to stop this, and Bit and Nico M both need to step up once again, but they've been dropped within seconds. I think this is a great kind of advertisement for Karrigan as well, if he can keep this up, because, you know, even if he doesn't stick with Envy post-minor / major / wherever they end up, then, you know, if he's fragging out like this in the majority of their games, it is showing, okay, not only am I an IGL capable of transforming a team that have had their struggles and now getting dominant games, but also I can frag.
Well, you know, I'm going to make a really ballsy prediction, and I'll be honest, like, I'm not just looking at this one matchup. I'm not like, oh, no, because of this. I just mean because of, like, you know, speaking of the guys on this team and how it's been working. For me, Envy are one of my favorites to make it to the playoffs and secure that major challenges spot, I'll be honest. Which, you know...
Not many people would say that.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
Yeah, I'm willing to get behind the idea. I don't see why they can't. Like... I don't think it's the ballsiest prediction.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because I just think that so many players in this team have so much that they have to show off, right? Like, you look at someone like Drone, he's been trying, but, you know, somewhat falling flat, right, for the longest time. Has a lot of potential. That's something that a lot of people agree on, but he's never really found his footing within a solidified team that's been able to constantly or consistently replicate decent results. Karrigan obviously recently getting cut from FaZe. He's out to still generate interest in himself. Then you look at someone like Nifty, similar story, right, with the Renegades exit. He's looking to try and show he still has what it takes. And, you know, for Cutler and JDM, it's a chance for these guys to potentially try and sell themselves once again. Because I think for a lot of people, they wouldn't even really look toward, you know, if you were going to pick anyone out from this team as players who could get picked up, they would be probably towards the bottom of that list. I think that's fair to say. So, you know, I think it matters so much for everyone in this Envy roster to show that they can still compete on the big stages and they can still find results.
And, I mean, this is some major winning strat calling right now. We've had 3 B rushes in a row. You know, nothing Team 1 can do. They stacked up on long in this one. Only Maluki playing that B window. And hey, if it works, it works. And at 14-3, I don't think anyone's going to disagree. This is a slaughter. 2 players left. Seems like Envy are going to be able to find 15 rounds without too much of a problem. Drone caught, and that's a gun dropped over. Bit just survives. Oh, there we go. He's got it. But it's a very small consolation in a 15-3 scoreline. Where do you go from here? Probably the loser, best of 3.
It is starting to look that way. Team 1, they need 12 rounds in a row to pull this one back to overtime. And oh, you've seen some glimmers of hope from the likes of Bit. Haven't really seen all too much from this Team 1 side. And obviously, we kind of missed the early stages of the game due to the power problem, but It's always sad to see with the scoreline being so one-sided because we're not really going to get an amazing sense of what this Team 1 CT side is like.
Funnily enough, the power problem is what I call the reason that Carrigan left FaZe.
Well, here he is. He's certainly showing his dominance here on Dust 2. He's going to be in with yet another kill. That's the B-bomb site almost opened up. Just Nico M here. And he really does have a lot to do. Perfect position to try and do it. The trade has to get picked up. And Nifty whiffing a couple of those shots now leaves all the pressure onto JDM. Down here in mid, they're going to hear that scope. And TRK is not keen on running into the AWPer. Nico M was brought down very low. You can see they're both desperate to meet up and double peek into this over in mid. They try and take the fight while they know where JDM is, try and play off one another, but TRK, he's given him the one-on-one, and now it falls to Nico M with just 4 HP in the 1v1. JDM, plenty of time, plenty of health, plenty of everything, hops on down towards short, and he's gonna land the flick. There's the clutch, a 1v2 required from a man who was pretty silent for Envy for the majority of that game. JDM stepping up in that closing segment, securing a 16th, and that will be Team Envy moving into that winner's bracket.
Yeah, I wouldn't say quiet that game, you know, a 16-3, it doesn't matter who's fragging at that point, but yeah, Drone and Carrigan looking absolutely unreal in that one, so... yeah, this is a great start for Envy. This is a great sign of things to come. I think they can show us a lot more this tournament, and obviously now going to the winners best of 3, we're going to have them in a minute. I imagine, not sure on this stream, but either way, it's going to be interesting. I think they could even go 2-0 right now. Let's have a look at the brackets and see how things are shaping up as well. You can see NRG are going to be the team that we saw earlier, make their way to the top of Group A, and they're going to be facing the winner of Bravado INTZ, which I'm aware is live. I'm not aware of the score, but I'll jump on that right now.
You guys are going to try and crunch those numbers. I hope.
Oh, no, it is over, actually.
Oh, it's over.
Bravado took that victory. They had a very big lead early on. INTZ pulled it back, and Bravado ended it 16-12. Sonic dropping 26 alongside Elusive on 25. KNG 28 kills, still lost the game. That's got to hurt.
I think Bravado is also going to allow us to provide a bit of a better benchmark for where this MV team sit at, right? You show up on the first day, you manage to beat Team 1. You know, not to say that we weren't expecting much from them, but I think with Bravado, they kind of, we've already seen with that matchup there, you say Sonic, he's top frag, and he's the guy in that team that we would look to fill that role, right? So he's actually found his footing. He's proven that he's playing how we expect him to. Whereas I think with Team 1 there, it was a flat performance, but that's not how we're used to seeing Team 1 play, right? Usually you have like Maluki up at the top of the board. Yeah. So I think it's quite easy for Team 1 just to put this down to the fact, okay, we had a bit of an off day, we're down in that losers bracket, full focus for tomorrow, and they can try and recover. I think that's why the Bravado match is going to be a very interesting one to watch develop.
Yeah, we do have a long break, though, because, of course, our stream schedules haven't been in line with each other. So Furia still have to play E United to do the Group B opening matchup there for those guys. And then the winner of that is going to be going on to face Envy in a game that I imagine we're casting. We are indeed casting over here after that. So I think we've got a whole nother best of one to wait for that will be covered on the main stream as well, as you can see. And then obviously Team 1, they're going to be facing up against the loser of Fury E United tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, with that Fury E United game, I'm curious, just quickly to get your thoughts. Yeah, why do you see that one going?
I'm kind of excited to see E United, right? They're a new look team. They brought in Cooper. I think they're going to be they're going to have a lot of firepower here because that team's always been on the cusp of something great over in the NA region, but never really been able to achieve it. And obviously we've seen these roster issues and roster changes within this team. So yeah, they've always had a bit of a problem in that sense, but I think this could be their chance. I think this is, again, like, you know, the most stacked minor circuit we've ever had, and I say that in every single region.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true, right? Like, especially as well, considering that we don't have Tai Lu present in the Asia minor, that's what makes that one so interesting, because we're going to have, like, sorry, finally a team that isn't Tai Lu versus Renegades in that final, right? So it ends up, you know, we get some new representation there in that regard. That's going to be fantastic. Over in CIS, that's been incredibly stacked. We've already seen that, right? Even Winstrike, the team that dropped down in that third place decider, they had some fantastic performances. They almost secured that playoff spot. So it all has been across the board such a close-knit race, and that's what's been so great about these minors thus far.
And we're already halfway through. We still have this entire region plus Asia that we already covered early on today. But we have some good news for you boys boys and girls at home. Instead of waiting for another hour for that best of one to finish between E United and Furia, we've now swapped over the game. So we're going to be going straight to a best of 3 now for Group A's winners match. We have Bravado versus NRG. What a game. NRG looking phenomenal earlier on. Bravado having a great end to 2018 and are trying to, really prove that they want to stay in North America and they want to qualify for this major. They want to show us what they're made of. And that's going to be an absolute ball. So join us in just a few minutes. We're going to have that matchup for you guys to see who will be making it to the playoffs of the Americas Minor in just a sec.
Think you can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Counter-terrorists win. Think you can't get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
And as the sun sets on Katowice, we get ready to head in to our Group A winners match between NRG and Bravado. This best-of-3 series, of course, secures one of these teams in the playoffs, Hugo. So there is a lot on the line here. And I have to first get your thoughts and your feelings. You know, which way do you see this one heading?
I actually think there's a very good chance Bravado could take this. Now, of course, NRG have been looking really, really good today. We've obviously only seen one map from either team, but NRG just absolutely pugging earlier and winning every single aim battle. But I don't think this is necessarily a guaranteed 2-0 or even a convincing win. I think Bravado have looked really good as of late. They're on a hot streak of maps or at least series wins, like 6 or 7 series in a row. They ended last year, of course, with that second place. I was going to say victory. Second place isn't victory. Second place placing, which sounds horrible, at DreamHack Winter, just down to losing to ENT. So they've had some really high highs in these last few months. I think there's a very good chance they could maybe showcase some of them here. What about you? Yeah,
no, man, it's so good. It's fine. You know,
someone unplugged my
it's been a long day. It's been a long day, Hugo. I mean, I think for me, you just have to lean the way of NRG. I feel like they are going to be the obvious favourites coming into this, but that's not to say the Bravado guys definitely couldn't upset, right? I mean, I think with this team, for me, they're one of my favourites to secure some sort of top 3 placing at this event, right? That's the one thing I think. It's a mixture of the NA minor being stacked, but also there being a lot of unknown quantities going on that make this such a hard event to try and predict the outcome of, right? I think aside from NRG, you can't say that we really have a clear and proven favourite, because for a lot of these teams, we haven't really seen that much from them. We don't know how much effort has been put in on the run-up to this event. Yeah,
2 very good points there. One, the preparation, right? Especially with some of these Brazilian teams, you don't know what work they've been doing behind the scenes in terms of like getting ready for this event. 2, rosters. We've got new rosters debuting here rather on LAN at the minors. Like that's crazy to see. We don't know what to expect. Envy was a great example, right? We had no idea what they were going to do, but Karrigan dropping 25 kills in the previous map in a 16-5 win, 16-3 win. I mean, there's a lot of question marks here in the minor, and I think these are probably 2 of the more solid teams that we do know, right? There's been no roster changes, long-standing teams, good results the last half of 2018 for NRG, pretty much all of 2018, and yeah, I think it's fairly solid. But you do have to remember NRG, at their peak of top 10 team in the world, really, really impressive roster with some of the most upcoming North American stars, plus Cirque as well. I think it'd be easy to say best player in Bulgaria. This is a huge super stacked roster.
Yeah, most definitely, right? And a team that's even surprising in the fact that they're here. So, especially when you consider it, in 2018, they were famously the team, I think, that were holding down the top spot in both Pro League and ECS at one point in time, right? They had, for the longest time, I think they were undefeated in both. Obviously, that was in the season before the last season for both of them once again. I think then it was Ghost who ended up having a phenomenal season following that. Yeah. But I think for this NRG squad, they're hungry to try and rise back up to the top and not make mistakes of old as we saw back at the last minor. That's why I feel like if you're Bravado, you're a little bit unfortunate in that sense, right? This isn't a team that because they fell so flat last time around, you physically can't have that happen again if you're NRG, right? So they haven't come into this looking to just breeze through it, right? Thinking it's going to be an easy path. You're not going to get an unprepared NRG. Similar to, what we saw with Mouse Sports over in the EU minor, where they said, we hadn't really been playing that much. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they got, taken out in the group stage by the teams that have put in all their homework, put in all their effort. Valiance was, for me, a great example of a team that did put in the effort and reap the rewards, obviously. I mean, sadly, didn't manage to secure a major challenges spot, but they went way further than I think many people would have given them credit for. So, I mean, for Bravado coming into this NRG, you bet they've been preparing. I think they're going to be looking to make a statement here in these opening games. I don't think they want this to even go 3 maps, let alone be a close series. But Bravado, they've looked good. And Sonic, as we've seen already, he's showing up today. That's kind of one of their main recipes for success. Let's take a look at the maps. You know, I imagine we're just going to see the Instant Dust 2 ban come on out from NRG, and indeed we do. Overpass is the next to go. Inferno going to be the map pick of NRG. Train out for Bravado, and then we all culminate on Nuke if we manage to get there.
I think we go 3 maps. This is not going to be an easy game for Bravado. And yeah, again, like I think NRG should win this series without a doubt, right? Like I just think Bravado can bring more to the table than many people are expecting. I think it's just, you know, not necessarily overrating the caliber of NRG by any means, but underrating the caliber of Bravado. But hey, we're going to find out. You know, 3 map series, an absolute banger of a game, and of course, you know, that first place seed through to the playoffs of the minor. Of course, the loser, not necessarily out. They go to the decider game, which is facing between the winner of INTZ and Imperial. And say Bravado lose that, right? And lose this game, rather, and go to that game. While every team is different, there's a very good chance they could do it. If Imperial win that game, it's a team they've already beaten just today. And if INTZ win that game, then okay, maybe some, you know, like a new challenge, but definitely not an unwinnable game for Bravado either. So I think these two are, well, so far proven to be the best 2 in the group. But let's see how they fare head-to-head as we get into this one. You can see the Betway odds down below, favouring NRG by a good margin. And the map pick of Inferno coming in first place as well. This is, of course, going to be the pick of NRG as we get into things. And Harry, how many maps?
Ooh, that's a pretty tricky one.
Yeah.
I don't really know how these 2 teams are going to stack up against one another. Inferno, pretty good middle ground map for both teams.
Answer the question.
I'm working my way there. I think this goes 3 maps.
Okay.
I think Bravado pick up Train.
Let's see as we get into things. NRG starting off on the T side. It was, of course, their pick, so Bravado picked that CT side, as you would expect of an Inferno. Triple A set up here, and Bravado peering down middle as well, as did Trony, looking for a bit of a fight, but with presence in the apartments being noted and heard, he's going to have to fall back. Doesn't want to get burst from the boiler. And NRG, they were just making presence earlier in A to keep these 3A players here. It will be the culmination of their B efforts. This earlier boost to stop any CT aggression down Banana and Bravado. They do have a smoke here, so if Sonic gets some information, JT can throw it down to ward off these Ts, but they'll definitely go through it considering the flashbangs are ready.
Oh, ooh. Unconventional means of smoking, and that does mean that there's a gap in it, which NRG looking to try and exploit. Sonic holding close, ready to make sure no one can get in, but Ethan's able to find it. Those flashbangs are good. JT promptly dealt with as well. That's the B-bomb site overrun by NRG. The Trony not quite able to find anything over the top of the smoke, and actually Elusive even gets dinked on down through it. He's been gooshed to 15 HP. Ethan's in with another frag, and Fady trying to hold his ground. They have at least managed a couple of kills, but Daps is there to finish things off. NRG will take the pistol round here on their map pick, with Ethan already showing up in a big way.
It was Ethan and Breezy back on Nuke earlier on that were the real, you know, starting points for NRG, and the finishing points, all the points really. They were going absolutely mental, so definitely a good sign to see Ethan start things off confidently as well, kind of like you would expect. Now, Bravado, they won that 4th round bye with the AWP plus the nade, so they've got a bit of a force here. Scout on Detroni, pistols on everyone else. Sonic saving some cash for the long run. And even nades down middle to try and get early damage. They'll get a bit. Breezy's tagged, so not too bad here from Bravado. The flash is up mid, though, and they're going to smoke off the short side. Detroni's covered. Fady has to throw in his own utility, and he's got to take the fight as Cirque dives through. But it's the Bulgarian who wins it. Detroni back at the site now. Does find one.
Oh, they spot out Daps. He's going to get tagged, so brought down to within 1-shot range of Elusive down here in the pit. He's going to take advantage of that. Breezy is able to trade, and now that leaves JT with just a smoke and a prayer. Ooh. Yeah, he's just going to back off and save. He doesn't want to try and take that fight again, so just opts to try and hold on to the Deegan armor. NRG are going to get off to a good start here. They take the 2-0, managing to keep 3 players alive, unless JT is able to make some mischief, cause some damage. Now looking to try and save as he wasn't able to do that. They will be hunting for him, and he hears the footsteps of Fugly.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, once he missed that first shot, he really was as good as dead. So NRG, 2-0 start, but now the bite on the cards for Bravado in the coming round. Just going to have to take the eco here. That does allow him to bring the AWPs out early on, at the very least. Can already see them saving up cash for it. One thing I think it was important to note is Cirque back on Nuke was very hesitant of picking up the AWP. Didn't really see him with it all too much. Opted to go for the AUG over it. And that's been a real trend out in North America. You know, I don't think any region has quite embraced it to the same degree as we've seen the North Americans. AUG is so strong right now, right? I say get it while it's cheap because I don't think it's going to stay this price forever. I think Valve up that again at some point in the future. I don't think by much.
No, I don't think they up the price. Valve never go back on their mistakes, Harry.
Yeah, but at that point, is it even really a mistake? Because
no,
it's like
actually,
they wanted people to use the gun more. People are using the gun more.
No, it's like a discount price, right?
Yeah, it's like right now,
20% off.
Act now, become an early adopter. It's like yeah, it's like when you try and
buy Bitcoin and then you just mortgage your house and then it goes nowhere.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
don't think
the
it's quite like that.
The AUG is probably a little better than Bitcoin. You're right. Well, the Pistols will find Ethan down bottom banana, so that's an AK gifted if Fugly wants to let them get away with it. Now, Sonic, he is on this log stack, so Fugly giving them the chance to escape if they'd like, but the issue is they're escaping into Breezy, who's down bottom mid. He finds both. The AK saved. And NRG off to a 3-0 start. Oh, look at this buy, though. Double AWP. Harry, you're talking about the regions adopting the AUG. Well, we've got 5 scopes on Bravado. 2 of them AWPs, 3 of them AUGs. And this is an absolute, well, surprise of a round. Surprise of a buy as well. NRG definitely will not be expecting this kind of investment. This gun may be meta, but is going to be an interesting purchase. Nades down. Oh, that's an awkward block. JT not going to get his nade, but it will be fine. There was no one there behind the logs anyway. Molly will be landing close in the banana. Now Daps is sectioned off, so this AUG might be able to take him down. It's actually the AWP of Sonic finding the first kill. Ethan getting spammed as well, and Bravado keeping up the pressure down on B.
Yeah, no attempt at the refrag there. And as NRG try and take some comfort in this A bomb site, what they will find is Bravado. They've got 4 players stacked up here. They've already identified one of the AWPs at Banana. So on the back of it, they try and make the play happen toward A. Of course, the strength of having Sonic there is it allows for you to have this 4-man hold at the A bomb site, and we can just see it laying waste to NRG at this point in time. Cirque, while he is good for 1, now in a 1v3 with just 1 HP to his name. Bulgarian Bloodhound attempting to try and sniff out some of these South African players. And Sonic's there. Well, he does find him. Maybe not in the sense that Cirque would have liked.
And that's Bravado off to their first round on the CT side as well. We do still have money for NRG, but these AWPs and AUGs are proving to be a bit of a task for the Ts. Let's see if they can work out a way to get around it, rather. Let's Bravado buy up. Assume Fady's been dropped one. Yeah, he's got an M4 at his feet, so all is well in the Bravado camp, and their chance to keep things going. Early triple B setup to throw utility down this banana. We saw that in the previous round. This time NRG will not be rushing towards B. Lots of nades used early on. Now, this does keep the T's out of it, allowing Bravado to take control, but they've not got a lot of nades now. And we're only 20 seconds into the round. This could be a bit of a problem later. But NRG are avoiding B for the time being, going back through the apartments. Elusive sat there around the smoke. He might get caught. Great shot from Fugly. Opening kill, and they're just going to play off the back of it as well. They know there was a triple B setup because of this utility down banana. So NRG, they get 1 kill, and essentially they win the round off the back of that because Bravado is so forced out of the bomb site by the smoke, they don't even want to touch it.
Yeah, just going to be keeping these 4 players alive, which, you know, I mean, they can get away with it is pretty decent, all things considered, over here on the CT side. They wouldn't have had a buy had they tried to go for this and lost it. So you understand the decision-making there from Bravado. NRG going to be given this 4th round. We'll be allowed to keep 5 players alive, which does mean they dodge that reset potential that could have potentially built up had they lost a couple more guys here and there. Wow. Oh, well, that's not how you feed 2 birds with 1 scone, Daps, is it? What would Peter say? Come on.
Reset round for NRG as well. Very important that Bravado actually did save in that previous to allow for this buy. Probably going to not be throwing so many triple B setups so early on as well, because you saw NRG just power play the A site off the back of it. Now Fady, he's going to run down middle. Look at this confidence here for Bravado. This is what we need to see if they're going to take on the likes of this North American roster. Fady is all the way down middle. The issue is they've already lost a B player, so this could be a bit of a problem. And Fady needs to watch his second middle as well. Did Trony going to shoot his teammate in the back? And Daps has heard the impact of that bullet. He turns around and finishes off the job. This is a mess for Bravado. You hate to see it. 3 deaths. NRG going back towards A, and that bomb is going to be right in tow.
Disaster strikes for Bravado there. And as you say, the Trony shooting his teammate in the back gave the ruse up. Allowed Daps to easily find that first kill. And the worst thing is, as he tries to get that nade into the bottom of mid to reclaim the frag onto Daps, he actually gets peeked from second mid and finished off. So Bravado, pretty horrific way to lose a round that was shaping up to, be one that could have been salvaged, right? You had a man all the way down mid. We were lacking that kind of confidence, the aggression from them. They finally try to do it, and Detroni ends up being the reason it all falls apart. Now JT and Elusive desperately trying to save, but NRG, you can see they kept 5 players live in the round prior. They were looking good to do the same here. And that means money is not an issue really for this T side. They know the implications of taking these guns away. And that's that there won't be money for Bravado into the next. So as they find JT, just Elusive remains, and he's not quite able to get away with it. So team ace for NRG, no money left for Bravado, and this should be a free 6th round for the North American squad.
Yeah, without a doubt, Bravado have nothing to play with, so may as well be a standard eco here. But this is something that's going to interest me now, because Bravado have 2K with 2,400 coming in after this. So do they go for the buy in the upcoming round with just M4s? Being a team that we've already seen likes to pull up not only the double AWP, but a lot of AUGs and utility. A 4.4K buy is going to be pretty awful in comparison. So the fact that they full eco this definitely hints towards them doing it. They could have half-bought here if they wanted to wait a couple more rounds. But a bit of a flash into B from JT at the back of Coffins will allow this aggression now. Ethan's closer. He's got to be very careful. Great flashbang. And Bravado get a kill off the back of it. That's a great trick to pull up on a pistol round like this. Use your manpower to your advantage. No support for Ethan there as NRG do get the refrag back on A. But Bravado have already doubled back towards this site because NRG have not committed just yet, but they've thrown down some smokes. They're trying to get a walk through one of them and Breezy on the other side. This should just be a bit of a mop-up here. Bravado did catch out that first man in Banana, but past that, it's going to be very difficult to win your duels. So 6-1, as you say, Harry. NRG off to a stunning start, and here's where the buy comes back in for Bravado.
One of the things you'll know that NRG have been doing a very good job of is nullifying that presence of Sonic over at Banana. He's been trying to peek it with the AWP. I mean, we've only seen one CT side round, so let's not get too ahead of myself here. But, sorry, in the 2 rounds he's had the AWP, he's been trying to peek Banana, trying to take the aggression there. They're trying to use the man that they know is their star, set him up at B, and then play that 4-man hold over at A. The second that round worked, and the second that NRG realized that was the game plan here at Bravado, they've been making it a real mainstay to try and challenge for this Banana control, try and deny these early peaks. Now that round, the smoke goes down at the car that actually extinguished a Molotov that was thrown in for this position, and that allows Sonic to take that peak, find the opener. Ethan's been dropped, and now you can see they leave him here at the top of Banana. This is probably where you're going to see Sonic a lot of the time, trying to cordon off this portion of the map. The only issue that they're going to face is he's been bested by Cirque elsewhere as well. Detroni going to get dropped up in the top of mid. We're back into a 3-on-3, and this B bomb site is wide open.
Yeah, in terms of just holding down Langle like that, you're going to struggle to win those fights versus Cirque. He's just so quick on the AWP. JT has got to deal with this push. Great spray, even through the smoke, dropping the bomb. He's found 3. And JT, he could only see one of those players, but it won't make a damn difference. Bravado shut down that push. NRG trying to go through the smoke with no flashbang, which is definitely a curious call, but they knew that Bravado had a heavy A setup there, so a fair assumption that the B was fairly empty. You don't see those kind of spray downs every day. Great work from JT. That has just kept Bravado's economy alive. Look at the money as a result. Still got this AWP on Sonic. Cirque is going to be battling back, and I think he's going to be going back up towards Banana. Instead, there's actually Daps on his own. Got to watch out for these nades down middle. Cirque's in second. And we'll be going towards the apartments here in the T side. No CT's in position to shut that down now. Elusive is back in Graveyard. He's held from this position before, so will NRG be aware of it?
Yeah, what's on the menu here for NRG? Can it be this A play? And within seconds, they've already locked it down. They might have a 4-man hold here, but you wouldn't know it. NRG walking over this Bravado defense. And now just Sonic remains. They know exactly where he is. They've encountered him here every single round, and they want to try and take the AWP off of him.
Oh, he's being circled. He's being hunted like sharks to blood in the water. Sonic has got to swim away from the situation, but Breezy's already taken down the kill. NRG 7-2. This is a stunning T side from them. Really nice execute as well. Just obviously the kills are, fantastic, but the timing of the kills is so great. NRG get 4 kills within 5 seconds. Though, it just shows the the drill of this team. They're so well drilled. They're so ready on the timing. All on the same page here. Now Bravado, no money. So shotgun, AUG, pistols, you name it. They've probably not got it. Bravado are on a half buy here.
Yeah. Probably one of the best ways I've ever heard anyone describe that their buy isn't looking great. Fugly able to open up with 2 up here in the apartments. This is very much Fugly's house right now. Only Detroni remains at this A bomb site as he's cowering down by the cart with that 5-7. Not going to get tested anytime soon, but this does leave him vulnerable to this short play. JT holding position over here at long, going to get smoked off. And for Detroni now, trying to take this peek in at short. Flash rains over the top. He's holding close. The flash goes past Breezy, and it does hit its mark, but Detroni not quite able to follow up with the shots required. Now Sonic. NRG, they know that he must be at this B bomb site, surely. He just starts this rotation away. The timing couldn't be worse.
When that bomb goes down, he's going to realize, and he's going to be very, very upset. The smoke even landing. He's not sold by it. That's a very unfortunate rotation from Sonic, and yeah, either way, it won't make too much difference. The round was over. Bravado only had pistols and a couple of buys, so yeah, Sonic has just realized, and he's kicking himself. NRG 8 rounds on the T side. But even stuff like that, once NRG got plenty of kills towards middle, not committing towards the A site because they know there are pistols and likely these kind of guns, they don't want to just walk around a close corner. They'd rather, go back towards B, because in that case, if the player's on A, they're going to stay on A. And if they're on B, like Sonic was, he's going to rotate because his teammates have all died on the other side of the map. So nice call from NRG. 8 rounds now on the T side. This game is looking a lot more one-sided than I expected. But that's just a testament to the work that NRG have been doing coming into this event.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing, you know, you always question how much the obvious favourites are going to come in and how much they will have prepared. I think, as everyone's kind of been highlighting for NRG here, they know they can't afford the repeat of the previous minors. Yeah. They will have been doing their homework, even on teams that, you know, they expect to beat. And I think Bravado would be one of the ones you would look into if you're NRG, right? I think there's no doubt about that they are one of the favourites here. Whoop. Cirque will get discovered, and Elusive in with another, but the trades are being found slowly but surely. Sonic still has this Nova down on Banana. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to get given the chance to use it. Instead, it's Elusive. Ooh, he's hiding, and he's very good at it. Catches Daps with the bomb in hand, but not quite able to follow up with the shots, and that leaves Sonic now to 1v3 with this Nova. Well, we often hype this man up. This would be a clutch of the ages. He's hidden in this smoke, but Fugly, as that smoke dissipates, spots him out, deals with the point man, and that will be a 9-2 scoreline in favor of NRG.
And 4 HP for Daps. That hurts. Could have definitely been a winnable round if you found that kill, but not too worry about that for too much longer, because Bravado, I was about to say they have a buy-in, but if you can see Fady, he's going to struggle for it. They're not going to be able to have the AWP either. So definitely a round where you should buy, considering the scoreline, but not one that you're going to be all too pleased about. Let's see what Bravado's game plan is. They've not been fearful against NRG, and I'd say that's one thing that's respectful so far. They've been aggressive. They've tried to keep pressure on. They've tried to take these fights with Cirque on that AWP. Unfortunately, them shrouded by a couple of mistakes. We saw that mid-push where Detroni shoots his teammate. But I wouldn't mind if Bravado showed us a little bit more oomph and went for something like that again, especially with this kind of buy. You're not going to be able to run the clock down low. You've not got the utility to do it. NRG, on the other hand, they've got everything they need and more. The AWP holding onto that apartments push, but there's nothing here for Bravado. They've stacked up on short for the time being. Elusive going to be watching the back of the apps. In fact, JT is already rotating, so Bravado convinced that they want to stack A nice and early on with no info. It will be the right call to make. And that smoke will slow down NRG for a bit of time, but they have no fear. They'll go right through it, cross towards the boiler, make sure they've got the apartments mostly under their control. And with Elusive backing out as well, NRG will be heading this A site.
3 players out from the apartments, though, and they're already down at the pit. Fady gonna get discovered. Detroni, while he's falling, able to do damage, and then that leaves Daps suddenly thrust into this 1 versus 3 clutch. So things were looking good for NRG. They secure a bit of a foothold down in the pit. Elusive is quick to reclaim it, and that now puts Bravado in the driving seat in this round. Daps, 50 seconds left on the clock, and still plenty of money here for NRG. The question now becomes, what can he do? How much more damage can Daps find? He's gonna try and go on this long flank round. Now with 40 seconds left, he's going to be hard pressed for time, and you can see Sonic posted up in CT. He presents a real problem, but he doesn't seem all too aware of Daps in the back line. This little flank, as Daps makes noise, surely going to get his attention, and yeah, Sonic does turn on round. Daps almost checks it, but you know, that's like almost putting your seatbelt on. It's not going to save you if you do it and you find yourself in a bit of a sticky scenario.
Oh,
practice, safe practices, Hugo.
Thanks for that, Harry.
There you go.
That's how yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, you're like my doctor. All right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I hope your doctor's telling you to do safe things.
Not always. NRG, either way, they're going to have the buy. Obviously, Daps had to run there. The time was too low and the bomb was too far away. If he had it, he could have committed towards a B plant. But nice shot from Cirque. He's opened up this round. Detroni's been picked off in mid. Daps is getting very, very heavily tagged by the utility usage from Bravado. Oh, the nade's going to seal the deal. Sonic opening up now for Bravado, puts it into a 4-on-4, losing your IGL for the side of NRG, but that doesn't seem to hold them back. They're going to go very quickly up through long. Get that position that they earned earlier in the round. They've just got to watch out for Sonic rotating into the spawn. And Fady, a nice off angle, but surely not good for more than one with the FAMAS. Sonic's waiting for that smoke to fade, as are NRG. They've decided to double back. Flash through, great flash as well. This aggression from Bravado is what we've been enjoying watching, and Sonic will take down Breezy as NRG double back towards the B site. Now, Bravado have re-aggressed on short, so they should have this information. Sonic is going to begin to rotate, but NRG are going to get there before him, leaving only JT left standing, a solo man on the bomb site, but the mid push is already in.
Now JT, we saw him with a heroic 3K at the B-bomb site just rounds ago. This time he falls a little short. Fade, he might be able to catch Cirque, but sadly not. Cirque lands it the second time around, and that does just leave Sonic and Elusive with no utility in this retake. That's going to be something that causes them problems. Sonic already with 2 kills in this round, looking for a little bit more, and Elusive, well, now thrust into this 1-on-3. He loses Sonic in the CT portion of the map, and now might just turn his attention towards saving. Oh! Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. He doesn't even get to see Cirque, who tags him down, and that's a 10th round locked in for NRG. Another dominant opening half from the North American squad.
Yeah.
You think back to earlier on Nuke, they managed a similar scoreline there.
Definitely looking at the powerhouse of the the Americas minor, rather, and that's exactly what we expected at the end of the day. This team has had some very high highs as well as some rather low lows, but this does not seem to be one of them here in Katowice, wanting to make that major as quick as possible. Yeah,
Dap's hoping to be at a major this time, not on the desks. You know, he actually wants to be there playing the game.
Yeah.
And I can't say I blame him. One of the scary things for me is you think about this, right? Bravado, they've been running this setup with Sonic for the most part, playing this B-bomb site on his own. NRG walked into that stack on A hell of a lot, and the scoreline is still 10-3 in the advantage of NRG.
Yeah, again, I think it's just a case of NRG outclassing Bravado individually, and that's to be expected, you know, some of the names on this team. We've had our times for Bravado, our individual plays, but they're just far more consistent and common for this T side. Ethan showing us why. Sonic already been picked up towards the top of B. Dap's working his way in, and he's found himself another one. Trony with the Deagle cannot get anything done, and Elusive, wrong side of the map, wrong time as the plant comes in. NRG guaranteeing their 11th round with that bomb. It's Elusive, he's just looking for damage, he's just looking for guns. There was one man dropped earlier in the apartments. He'll go hunting.
And at this point, he's perfectly content with just holding on to the AK. Regardless, it's going to be this 11-3 scoreline, which for NRG on their map pick is just incredible. You take into account as well that they haven't even moved in that CT side. That's really where you see someone like Cirque come alive. He is one of the AWPers, I would argue, who could definitely T-side AWP on this map, but yeah, there's no doubt about it. His bread and butter does lie over on the CT portion. Now, one good thing for Bravado, at least, is moving into their T side, they're going to be able to just unchain Sonic. I'm hoping that that's what happens at the very least. I hope we just see him be the man on the entries. Able to open this round, open these rounds up, try and create space for the rest of the team to work with. But regardless, I mean, taking a look at this buy, certainly not the sort of buy you would want heading into the last round of the half. It's not the worst either, but they are very limited in terms of utility. Sonic, over at the top of Banana, was boosted up early, wasn't quite able to catch anyone, and does actually get damaged for his troubles. Detroni tries that mid-aggression and gets shut down. So man advantage secured for NRG.
Daps has an auto-sniper.
Oh, that's always good.
He's spamming apartments from spawn. I imagine he'll trade out, but Sonic is going to peek into this one. Cirque not going to hit the shot. It's actually Sonic who sees him first because he's further away from the angle. Bugley got a fast play middle, and he'll be able to trade that initial kill. Daps has traded out his auto, thank God, to an AK. Glad to see that. As good as that gun can be. 11-3 now as NRG try and find their 12th on this A site. This bomb looking like it will commit as Fugly's already deep in the pit. And And Bravado been smoked off in middle. They'll just walk right through it. These guys do not care about smokes. Unfortunately, it's going to come back to haunt them. And Sonic got tagged through it. So Ethan going to hear that. And he has a bit of an idea. 21 HP. Sonic one shot away from death. And he will just avoid it for now. But if Ethan just spams his smoke, he should get this kill. Sonic gives away his position. But he wraps back to another smoke. And right now, it is looking unstoppable. A barrage of utility. Sonic doing his damn best, but it's not going to happen. 12 rounds on the half for NRG. A storming T-side in the map pick of Inferno. They have looked so damn good, Harry. But we're going to be heading for a quick break. Back with the second half in just a second. Do not miss it.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
Currently, we sit 12-3 in the advantage of NRG after a lights-out first half. Bravado now moving into their T side. Rather, are going to attempt to try and lift this one up on their opponent's map pick. Currently staring down the barrel of an 11-round comeback. The pistol round feels like a bit of a necessity here for the Bravado guys. As we head into this one, NRG, we can see going to be buying on down, and it's utility for Daps, kit up on him. For JT, he's in a similar boat. Picking up that PT-50, trying to go toe-to-toe with Breezy early on. Now, that's an important fight that he doesn't lose, because otherwise you do lose the utility that accompanies him. Zerk and Fugly looking curious as to what Banana holds in store, and that's going to be a shot to the face to Zerk. Now Fugly joined up with Daps inside of this B bomb site. Smoke for CT falls, and now it falls onto these two players to try and keep Bravado out of B, and it's certainly not happening. Fugly in with one, still has so much more to do, and ammo's running low, 1 bullet left. But he's managed to hold down the bomb site for the time being, even gets that reload in. More players pushing towards him, they just can't seem to deal with Fugly. Finally, Sonic picks it up. And now Ethan and Breezy trying to finish what Fugly started, continue his legacy, but they've lost Ethan. Just Breezy left standing, and a 1v2 required. Sonic and Fady left to try and overthrow.
They could rotate, they could just run right back, and I think they're going to try to. The trade is there. You could see them retreating back towards Banana. Sonic ran back, almost lost the round for Bravado, but Fady was there with the re-peek and the refrag as well, keeping these Ts in this game, and that's a massive pistol to win. 4 rounds may not seem like a lot, but this pistol has spurred them on, given them a chance to bounce back, pull this game into, well, a more reasonable scoreline, because I think if they lose a pistol, they likely just get swept under the rug. And for now, the force buy from NRG, they want to win this before it gets out of control. And Bravado's buy is pretty poor here. They focus on utility, which is nice, but not a single AK in their hands. This will be fine against full pistols, but NRG have gone for armor, they've gone for SMGs, they've got lots of nades. Early smoke down towards B. Fugly is ready with his. Waiting on the contact to be made by Ethan once they see this push, and that smoke can come in, and there it is, the CT smoke going down, cutting off Bravado as they decide to rotate back, and NRG shifting Cirque over towards his B site may come to regret that.
They certainly might, although that re-smoke over in top mid, Bravado, well, even the, you know, decent bit of utility used on the same bomb site. That was a re-smoke for the one that was about to fade. So they know there's at least 2 players there. The issue they're going to have is Ethan, still sitting with this incendiary and the smoke, can look to buy a lot of time. Combine that with the fact that Daps has just got aggressive up into the apartments, and these rotations are going to be coming in very quickly indeed. Fugly's dropped the bomb and it's fallen through the smoke. They've been betrayed by the bombers. It just gets lobbed on through. This round falls apart for Bravado. NRG managing to pick up the force by a 13th cemented. And what a horrific way to throw away your potential avenue back into this game.
Yeah, you were bang on there. Those smokes in mid really forced Bravado back towards that B site, expecting maybe a bit of an A stack there and walking actually into the triple B setup. There's a Molotov on Ethan as well, and the crossfire was so nice from the coffers to the boost to the CT spawn. Everything covered for NRG, and despite Bravado winning pistol, they will not get any further. Forced by round 1 by these CTs, and now Bravado going to try and keep these force wars up, but this is where the pressure really comes down Banana. Ethan actually losing that battle to the Deagle. Flashed out was Fady, but he will be traded as he goes down. Detroni winning his battle up in the apartments as well. And 4-3 in terms of the player count for Bravado. Still favoured, despite the lackluster weapons. They go back towards B. Probably the best call to make here. Only Fugly in position. And retaking very difficult on this map. So if Bravado can just run through this smoke and take control of B, they can win the round.
Oh, and Fugly almost gets caught. They line up, done a lot of damage, and he even got as far as to drop that bomb. Bravado continuing to push on forward. These rotations coming in, and Fugly still trying to buy time. He's going to get decapitated. Sonic, he knew he had to go fast, and he's now re-secured that man advantage for Bravado in the post plot. There's another, and now just Cirque left standing, brought down a 6 HP by Detroni. So Bravado will be stealing around straight back. We're going to see the force buy wars, this back and forth nature, continue till one of these teams eventually manages to win 2 in a row.
I think if you're NRG, you like, I wouldn't be surprised if they force buy because they are the better team, but you know, it also wouldn't surprise me for them to just go, come on guys, we are going to just win when we get rifle rounds, right? In theory, that's what they're thinking. So if they just went for the eco here, brought up in a couple more, let Bravado get 5 or 6 rounds on this T side. But with this 1 M4 save, that's definitely a bit of a temptation to go for the full buy. Fugly could even drop an AWP if you want to get crazy here. But considering the game he's having, 19 and 6, I'm very doubtful of that. They will just buy up. Because he's hesitating. No, not going to go for it. And this is still a very good buy for NRG. So no real reason to eco here, considering they've still got Bravado's money low. And if you win this one and get 14, you probably just win the game. So a couple of Deagles, a couple of M4s. Bravado, a chance to recover despite losing that second round.
And this just looks like an immediate fast B play. Bravado have been having a lot of success towards this side of the map. They overthrow that one rifle and now it falls onto Fugly close with the D. Currently sitting top of the board for NRG, but he's not able to find anything in this site take there. He gets dropped without even a drop of damage going off. Dap's not able to get anything through that smoke, and NRG, yeah, they will just decide to save. They try and back off. So 6th round for Bravado. 5 players staying alive, a very decisive way of winning the Force by war. It does just start to feel like a bit of a battle of attrition between these two teams, right? You're always very, very starved of utility, starved of firepower in those rounds. When you really do get into that back and forth, obviously it gets very dire, especially over on that CT side where buying up is just that much more expensive. Bravado able to bust that open early on and now move into a 6th round. Should just be the eco coming up for NRG. With these weapons carried forward, maybe they can look to try and get something done.
By and large, if you're NRG, though, you're looking forward to that 21st round, that full buy. You're going to have everything you need. At least mostly so, actually. I think they'll lack the AWP unless they get a couple of kills here, but not a huge worry. Scoreline still looking very good here for the CT side. However, Bravado are starting to find their footing on their terrorist half. We'll see if that continues. Another faster approach from Bravado, this time in through middle, but that smoke is going to ward them off. Oh, Dap spamming, and the Traces give away his position, so Fady's going to hit that shot after only losing a bit of health on Detroni. So now Bravado go diving through. They've gotten the pick. Got the long smoke down as well to cut off Ethan. But only armed with the USP. Going to be looking to Breezy to try and step up with his Deagle instead. But yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're NRG, you're already thinking about saving that M4 on Cirque. Unless these 2 CTs on the site actually get some damage done. Now we have that wrap rotate coming through, but Bravado are already here and ready to go.
And the issue you're going to see is, you imagine they try and play this off of JT's contact at this B-bomb site. Actually, instead, he just opts to throw in the 1 smoke for CT. And yeah, now they make that decision. They rotate him back to this B-bomb site. Whole team going to join up with him as it just looks like the B dedication. Now, Cirque is here with the rifle. The question becomes, how big can Cirque go? Just 1 man after all. He's able to get the first. And that's made this tempting for NRG. A 3v3 secure. That bomb looking to go down, and he's trying to deny it, but he can't quite line up the shot. Smoke blocking off his vision, not able to find the wallbang. Breezy does so much damage, but Detroni picks him up, salvaging this round as Sonic brought down to 1 HP. Would have surely been polished off had he not had Detroni's help. Ooh, Cirque.
The key here for NRG is they're going to make these players die with the bomb. Even if they don't win the round, there's not going to be many escaping players from Bravado. Cirque is tearing them up. And yeah, okay, 4 kills, not going to be the ace here with Elusive catching him off guard, but that's still a huge round for NRG. They've got the buy coming regardless of what happens there. And because Cirque finds 4, he can even get the AWP into this one. So it makes so much difference. Bravado having to spend a lot of their hard-earned cash here. And look at this call from NRG. They don't want to buy up. They had the money for it. They realistically could have gone for a full buy here with almost everything they need, but instead they'd rather give an 8th round away. Which, yeah, I respect it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely 2 mindsets you could be in if you are the favorite to win a matchup, right? And that is, okay, we can force buy every round because in theory we should be able to get it done with like pistols and stuff along those lines. Or the other way of viewing it is, you know, we can take a few of these, not necessarily risk rounds, but rounds where we're not expecting to get too much done and then go for a fuller buy because that's where we're going to be at our strongest, right? When we're not relying on these individual performances, we're playing as a team. But they might just pick it up with the pistols nonetheless. Fugly able to shut down the point man there for Bravado, and that's the 1 man who was actually able to gain some ground in that B bomb site mopped up. Important to note, what a scalp to find. It was Sonic dropped early. So now having to try and claw their way back into this from the man at disadvantage.
And again, this constant re-smoking from NRG. We saw this in their 2nd force buy. They've run out now, though. Utility left on Ethan, a single incendiary to lock down B. And a nice setup as well. Ethan could hide at the back of the site, wait for contact to be made from Fugly, or vice versa. Molotov is gone, and now all the utility removed for NRG. It has to be the B play for Bravado. They've got the smokes down, at least, both of them, with the Molotov as well. Trony hits his AWP shot, massively important. Fugly, he's got to hold this alone, dropping one, but he's going to fall after the first, rather. 15 seconds left on the clock. And NRG, they may as well give this a go, but this is going to be difficult.
Still, considering this was the force, it's been a good round thus far. NRG, they'll be perfectly content with just making sure these players die with the bomb, but they are going to try and go for it. Breezy walks to his demise. Cirque, he's somehow able to get that, and there's still a chance for him here. Now with the AK, and Cirque's going to manage it. Defuse can look to come through.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's going to be picking up this 14th round as this partial investment from NRG prevails.
That is such an awkward one to lose for Bravado as well. They were very much getting into this T side, looking like they could have pulled things back into a decent scoreline. But now with NRG winning a half by, and not only that, but getting 14, they are so close away to running over the finish line. Buy is here, but it's far from perfect, and we haven't even got the AWP. Luckily enough, Cirque's not gone for his either. Need a hero for Bravado as a 14-7 scoreline.
Well, that's what I found interesting. There was an AWP available for Cirque to pick up there once he defused the bomb. Trony had one, so it's a conscious decision to have gone for the rifle here in this round, similar to what we saw back on Nuke earlier on today. So that's an interesting thing to note. Cirque moving away from bringing the AWP out in a lot of these situations. Molotov going to go down over here in mid, does isolate this push and leave a handful of players trapped on the other side of mid. They go ahead and smoke that off so that they can keep players here to trade back and forth, not allow any one-on-ones for the NRG side. Four-man stack here for NRG. JT once more trying to sell that fake at the B-bomb site. Fugly now starting to peel off down the speedway. Does mean that this lurk has done its intended job. Cirque gonna fall over at the library. Now Fugly's rotation wasn't far behind, and Dap's able to pick up the trade. The remaining players over here at long, and Breezy down in the pit, makes the stand, picks up the double. That's the bomb dropped. It is just Elusive and JT left standing, but they have got a foothold here at this A bomb site. The issue they're going to have is the bomb. It's dropped out in the open, and right now NRG, they're just sat on it. Elusive left in the 1v2, top performer of Bravado right now. He's got to go above and beyond, and Fugly's not going to let him. NRG map point on their map pick, 15-7. And this is looking very good for them, just closing this out here and now.
Yeah, Fugly is having an unbelievably good game as well. 22-9, Breezy sitting just behind. It seems like the stars are aligning for NRG. And this is where, maybe it didn't look as serious in the previous round, but where losing to the force buy really comes back to hurt Bravado, because we're going into what could be the last round of the map, and they have a single AK, 4 pistols. Really was worth it to wait and goal for NRG just a couple of rounds prior, and Daps is even going to get the info fast playing that apartment. He sees the bomb in second middle. And we only have 2 players here for NRG. Maybe expecting a bit of a B play early on, but it's apartments where Bravado will face. So this could be the solution considering their weak buy. Daps ready and waiting. The flash is through. He's fully blinded. Breezy's there as well, but Fady's already found the kill, and they should know Breezy's here. It wasn't communicated. He gets away with one, but Sonic is absolutely tearing through them with the CZ.
Yeah, he might have just made this possible for Bravado. Trony able to go ahead and topple another, and now that does leave Fugly up in this 1v3. As you mentioned, he's been fantastic today, but this is even asking too much of this man, so he instead just falls off, knowing that if he holds onto this AK, NRG, they can muster up a buy in the coming round. Although of what we've seen from them, wouldn't even surprise me if maybe they err on the side of caution and just go for the save behind this one rifle.
We've seen some reserved buy decisions from NRG so far this map. Well, this would be one of them, though. I really don't know. Bravado, however, they've just absolutely bailed themselves out of a horrible situation. Wow. I mean, they've not really bailed themselves out, but they've at least made this recoverable with having full rifles. And yeah, NRG will be buying. Not going for the early triple B setup in this round. Might come back to haunt them with the Trony already pressuring the top of Banana, but that smoke is going to be very deep from the CT side, which prohibits this push. Seems like NRG, they want to contest this B site as well, but Bravado, they try and speed up the pace, so they smoke the Molotov and run right through it. This gives them top B control early on, trying to contest that of NRG, but look how keen these CTs are to fight. Fugly's already found one, Bailey's up on the logs, but he's going to have to fall back. NRG have won their first battle down Banana, and they don't have to commit to anything more.
Look at this, they even rotate DAPS on round. NRG hedging their bets that this is going to be the B bomb site play. And you imagine that's just because of how much utility's been expelled at the top of Banana. I mean, there's been 5 Molotovs put at this portion of the map, or I think 4 rather, but still. A ludicrous amount of utility used over here early on from Bravado. Now their head on a swivel is back towards the top of mid, where Elusive and Sonic have gained ground. 45 seconds here. It's approaching that timestamp where Bravado are going to start to get worried. The Trony able to win the fight onto Daps. The bomb now behind him, and with this man found at B, they might look to get something done. No. But Ethan, surely not. Cirque's going to win his fight out, and in the blink of an eye, it's only Sonic left. Has to try and create something from nowhere, and it just doesn't happen. That's NRG closing this out. 16 to 8 rather. Sorry about that. I had a little choke there. That will be NRG moving 1-0 up in this series. And now that positions them nicely, I think, looking to the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is really setting them up for the 2-0. Obviously, we do have that second map under play that isn't necessarily a guarantee. It's not their pick. But, yeah, that's a very dominant first maps. And NRG really showing up how we kind of expected them to in this tournament. I'm glad they've been doing the work. I'm glad they've been working hard. And long may that continue. But let's see if Bravado have a chance to bounce back on their map pick. Join us after the break.
Think you can't capture a clutch in full resolution while streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
NRG versus Bravado. Map 2 is going to be Train. We already saw NRG move up 1-0 in this series. And now the question becomes, can the plucky South African team pull their way back into this matchup? Or is everything going to come up NRG?
It's looking good right now for NRG, we will say that. I mean, the scoreline of the first map was pretty convincing. They seemed to have control of a lot of the situations. I think one thing that did surprise them a lot was Bravado's very aggressive style on that CT side. We saw a lot of smoke pushes, a lot of, you know, gunfights being taken. But now moving over to Train, Bravado definitely going to be more comfortable, right? We're moving to their map pick and their chance to show us what they're worth. And something else as well, their T side. We didn't really get to see a whole lot of it in Inferno, obviously due to them losing out very dominantly on that first half. So now we're going to get to at least have an example of what their T side is like up against NRG, which, you know, again, still not an easy game, but I want to see what Bravado can show us here.
Oh, most definitely. I think as well, you know, if you're heading into this match, you've picked a map that you know it isn't one that NRG are bad on, right? You can't look at this as being like a free win. So I think if you're Bravado, you've got to have a couple of tricks up your sleeve, right? You had to have headed into this game prepared. I have no doubt that if you were going to study any team here, the Americas minor, you would have picked NRG. I think they're the heavy favourites to make it out in first place, and hardly anyone can really disagree with that fact. At least if you look at it on paper, but some things don't work out that way. This is the fast B play from Bravado in this round. Cirque able to get one and actually re-aggressing. They catch a loose Ethan and Daps tap down two. Cirque's in with another blink of an eye. It's only JT left standing. Does have the PT-50. Molly's gone down on the bomb, but that's extinguished by Daps. Cirque on the ladder. So many eyes looking his way. And that will be NRG successfully launching that retake there, keeping 3 players up and finding the pistol around here on Train.
Yeah, just some nice shots hit with the USPs there. Bravado bombed down, so they will be able to buy up in that third round. Although, already AK is being shuffled over with a bit more money to play with. Why not get a couple of guns, get some armor behind it, see what you can do with this. No armor on the solo AK though. I feel like if you're gonna get an AK, you may as well get body armor. And
yeah, I think JT's now agreeing with you. Yeah. He's like, oh,
whoops!
I had one job. Had to go back. Had to go rebuy it. Not the end of the world.
No. Don't get that fast spawn pick at least. That's the issue with it though. So NRG do manage to gain some control of Ivy. Pressure put on by Breezy, but he backs off very early on.
Yeah, he was definitely looking a bit deterred, was Breezy. Instead, going to hold off for the time being. You can see this AK turning its attention now toward Ivy. Breezy on the angle. Now, JT does have armor, so that USP that Breezy was banking on not going to be as reliable as perhaps he would have liked for the not majority of these players, but for the minority of these players. Daps with the organ hand should be here to mop things up with. I'm going to try and use some of these pistol players maybe to try and discover the location, the whereabouts of this NRG defense. Other way of looking at it is have JT peek first, but they decide to go for the old bait and switch, and it does not work. Everybody falls over on the side of Bravado. Very, very quick, clean round for NRG. 5 players staying up over on the side of Bravado. They can get the buy in this round.
That was really well read from Daps there on that fight, right? He knows they have an AK at least because it was spotted down Ivy, but the rest of the players should be on pistols. So when one player jumps for the cross, Daps fires a bullet at him, but then instantly traces back to the instant repeat that's coming through from JT, knowing that that's a bait and switch setup for an AK. So Daps takes down the armored player immediately, and then the rest follow. So good decision making there. Great shot to start off this round for Detroni.
Yeah, man advantage gained as he bests the Bulgarian. Now looking to try and allow Detroni to find that much more. JT dispatching of Ethan up close over at Pop, and you can see NRG, they've rotated their remaining forces into this A bomb site, just going to be stacking all 3 up at this portion of the map. Bravado still looking dedicated out towards A, and Detroni in with another. Suddenly, it's only Breezy and Fugly remaining. They know the whereabouts of one, and Sonic's there to finish him off. So Bravado able to grace the scoreboard straight away here with a round on their T side, and a convincing one at that.
Yeah, 3 players kept alive, the AWP going forward. And if Detroni can continue to find picks like that, opening kills in the yard, then we're off to a good start for Bravado. The issue is here, now NRG are calling a pause. If they hard eco this round, they have a full buy in the follow-up, but here, if they were to buy, it would certainly have its holes in the armor. So yeah, half buy. Bit of an investment, wait for that loss bonus to kick in. Probably the best situation they can come out with this round, but we should expect Bravado to equal out the score, find this 2-2 on the T side. Cirque's even waiting for his AWP, so it's nice to see he wants to bring it in as well. We've already mentioned that, you know, over the games today, he's not been as eager as he typically is, but that's fine. Like, he can rifle perfectly well, but over on Nuke CT side, he was organ left, right, center.
Well, one thing that I think is, or could bode well for Bravado here, is if you recall, you think back to the DreamHack Invitational out in Mumbai when they ran the event there. Obviously, that was the event that Bravado were able to pick up and win. Train was one of the maps that transpired in that grand final, if you recall. It was a pretty dominant victory for the Bravado guys, and that was on the back of strong performances from JT and Sonic. They both feel very at home on this map. JT's already gotten off to a good start here for Bravado. He's looking to try and continue it, but Fugly has shut him down with the CZ. Circuit on this rotation, and uh-oh, Fugly, how's he managed that? 3 kills come through. And he might have made this round possible. Cirque just baited them, knows that they're going to be battening down the hatches on this position. He's trying to bait the shots out, and Cirque not falling for it, not falling for their tricks, doesn't offer himself up for the trade. So now a 2-on-2, and the possibility that NRG find a round from nowhere. Sonic spots out Breezy on this wrap round. That bomb's still yet to go down. This is giving NRG so much time to set up. No.
Dirty.
Surely not, Cirque. That's not allowed. You can't do that to them. Elusive, 1v2 needed. He's got to try and salvage it, but no, Fugly and Cirque. What a spectacle. A 3-1 lead in NRG. I don't know what we just saw.
Bravado definitely did not need to do that. They definitely didn't need to run through that smoke. When it's your map pick, you're up against pistols, you're the underdog, You've got plenty of strats, you've got plenty of time, you've got plenty of nades. You don't need to run through a smoke with 3 players up against a close pistol that you know is there. That's, yeah, that's a questionable one.
I'm at a loss for words. There was so much impressive stuff that round. Fugly, by the way, you know, not often the man that's talked about on NRG, but he's kind of the player that a lot of people sleep on, right? He's not known for having the most flashiest of kills, but he's someone you can very much depend on. That round there, I mean, that was flashy, right? It was one clip of the CZ to get 3 massive kills, turns that round on its head, and then Cirque, with that one PT-50 shot, just whoosh.
Pistol whip.
Yeah, pistol whip him. Oh, well, Bravado, that's certainly not how they wanted their anti-eco to go. They're in with the force now, I guess you'd say 3 AKs in play, but no utility means they are just relying on aim alone, and that is certainly not the scenario you want to find yourself in. Especially not with Ethan continuing. He's able to open things up in this round. The Trony bested early on, and that well repelled them from main for the time being.
Ooh, Breezy forced back off the angle. I'll have to give them Ivy. But Daps is here behind the green train to at least run that crossfire, wait for them to come out, and then Breezy can wide peek. Oh, Daps, he's seen him, and he's got him as well. Fady's dead, Breezy peeks in, but there's no need. This last man is not fought until now, and there it is. Nice clean round from NRG. They get no casualties, and that's the issue. When you're in a round like that for Bravado's sake, and you don't have utility, and you're running off of rifles with pistols, and you have to take aim battles, that's when NRG get a flawless round, because these guys are looking so crisp. Bravado on the other side of things, 2K per player. They've got to go for a full eco. They've got to wait for that next round buy. And AWP on Cirque as well is definitely going to be a terrifying weapon to face, considering they won't have the money for the AWP on the Bravado side of things in the follow-up. Unless they get this bomb plant, which is very doable, but Fugly's waiting with a Molotov. He'll spot plenty of players, and Cirque's starting to line them up as well. 2 kills from Cirque. Fugly will die after 1, but that bomb plant is so important here for Bravado.
Oh, down goes Fady. Any hope of upsetting and finding a victory in this round is very much out the window. This wraparound could potentially net them the AWP on a Cirque. You can see he's read it well and will go ahead and delete the Trony. NRG up 5-1. But as you pointed out, Hugo, the bomb plant there is very, very valuable here to this T side. They can field a very competent bio. Gonna have the AWP on the Trony. All the bells and whistles on everybody else. Now, he doesn't have armor. That is something to pay attention to. That means aim punch is going to be a real problem here for the AWP over on the side of Bravado. So relying on hitting these shots the first time around, really can't afford to take these aim duels versus players.
And already, look at this Ivy push as well from Breezy. He's gone all the way down, and Detroni's bypassed him. He had no idea. Fady bails him out. And somehow Bravado get the best of him down in Ivy. That is incredible. They're still going to keep going, though. That smoke finally will ward them off. Sonic, in the meantime, has relieved some pressure by picking off Ethan close towards T-Con. So Cirque, this is his time. He's committed to the A site, deep within it. Teammate already rotating through the CT spawn, rather, and Cirque going to smoke off main so we can have free room on top of this train to fight Ivy. Only going in down Ivy, but Cirque isn't warded off. He knows these 2 players are still here, or at least one of them, but that's flash on the right side will make it very obvious. Bravado trying to peek at Cirque. Oh, nice flick. Can he get any more done? It's a no. Fady eventually drops him, leaving Fugly alone on the site on 10 HP. Not for long. Daps is dropped as well. It's 2 kills for Elusive and a second round for Bravado.
Now we can see that double AWP setup moved into, though, from the side of NRG. Money's not really a problem for them, or at least it wasn't heading into this round. Shouldn't be too much of an issue looking at the future either. Bravado, this time around, turning their attention towards this B portion of the map early on. Going to try and take control of Pop Dog. They're already down, but Ethan will come up short in that fight. Missed shot from Cirque, and NRG fluffing a couple of chances to find the opener there. Have given up a double man advantage the way of Bravado. Now, Breezy's gone aggressive in through Ivy. He's at least got this portion of the map locked down, but will that even bother playing into this round? Bravado, all it takes is for them to hit this B-bomb site, and it is all over. They've applied the brakes to the Bravado trade, sitting comfortably 2 players up. They know that they can afford to make NRG sweat, try and give them some time to get in their own heads. And,
that's awkward. Fugly goes down on B, and Bravado 5-on-2. They have control of one of the bomb sites, so that bomb will come rotating in through the ramp. The smoke down to cover the cross, and even the plant in as well. Bravado going to be able to pick up around here unless Daps can stop it, but he's too far away. He's been finished off, and NRG, they've just been slammed. That was a very weird round of NRG not looking ready.
No, that isn't a round you're really used to seeing transpire from NRG either. I mean, every person across the map just taking one-on-ones and missing their individual duels. I mean, a great example there would be Ethan taking up position over in Pop Dog. You'll note Bravado, they didn't throw anything in. There was one flash that didn't even blind him, and other than that, they didn't bother assembling that 2-man boost that we often see teams use to take control of Pop Dog. There was no Molotovs, no nades. It was just dry peeking across the map, and Bravado winning their duels. This is just a partial investment from NRG. And it is going to get ran over.
They've been setting a furious pace on this T side. Bravado have not been fearful for just rushing round after round. Breezy with a couple of nice kills on the exit, but it's still going to be Bravado getting up to 4 here. NRG still with money though, and that AWP again could even be doubled. The Daps would rather go for an AUG. Okay, this is where NRG need to shut things down if they want to finish this one in a 2-0. They don't want to let Bravado get the lead on the T side this early on. Let's see what response NRG have to this rampant Bravado pace, these early picks that have been consistently coming through. Detroni going for that AWP shot, but he will finally fall. It's Cirque taking the man advantage, and from here, this is where Bravado really will be tested.
Yeah, they won't be gifted any freebies this time around. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Elusive will be able to go toe-to-toe with Ethan down in the Pop Dog once more. Really is starting to feel like a bit of a weak point for NRG over at this portion of the map.
It does feel like NRG are getting overconfident to a certain extent in terms of just taking a lot of gunfights that they don't usually take, or didn't even take on the previous map. They had a very reserved CS. Even stuff like this, but it works. They trade out up on the top of Ivy, and Elusive will find his second kill. He really has been the savior for Bravado in this round, keeping them in a 2-on-3. Bomb picked up, and AWB traded over. We have, well, only one of them now as Elusive drops his. Distance being closed, and Daps round the smoke. JT's got to watch out.
NRG already with 3 people here. JT able to trade. Breezy is quick on the trigger. That will be NRG securing themselves a 6. They're able to hold one of those AWPs forward, and you imagine that's going to get dropped over to Cirque, who has been looking good thus far in this matchup. Didn't get to see him don the AWP thus far, or all too much thus far rather, on Inferno nor on Nuke earlier today, but here on Train it seems to be a different story. As he has been keen on having it. Now, Detroni's got the AWP back out over on the T side. I'm curious where he's going to go peeking with that early. It looks like it's just the fast A play. The wall of smokes rain on in. And on the other side, Ethan, Molotov's off his Pop Dog at the very least, so he does have a little bit more breathing room. Tries to get flashed through and has successfully picked up Fady, now playing close to the smoke. Trony's gonna get spotted and dispatched off. Breezy's in with another. Bravado getting picked apart one by one, and Sonic desperately trying to claw them back into it, but Elusive, I think he's been tagged underneath the trade there, so certainly not his lucky day. They use him to peek first, try and trade with Sonic, and it doesn't pan out. Fugly in with the double, and NRG 7-4 with the reset onto Bravado.
They've still got 4K on 3 players, so they can still somewhat buy up, but it's going to be limited in a couple. Definitely a round you should buy, don't get me wrong. And this is still an okay T-side start from Bravado. If they can turn this into 5 or 6, this is not going to be a problem. However, NRG still starting to definitely look like they're warming up into this first half. It was a bit of a slower start for them in this map. But 7-4 still looking damn good. Fugly alone on this B site. It's nice to see NRG not contesting Pop Dog as much. And as I say that, Ethan moves in close. This could be to his own demise. There's 2 players here for Bravado. And oh dear. Oh, he almost catches the timing just a second too late. 1 for 1 is still good though.
Ooh, Breezy. His aggression does pay off. So now for Bravado, it's back to the drawing board. It looks like it's back towards this B bomb site. They haven't been having the most success at this portion of the map. Fugly has been a real driving force when it comes to locking it down at B. This time playing much more passive. Daps on this wrap is going to get spotted, but he's able to best the Trony. Breezy's in with another, and Elusive left in a 1v4. Well, he does get the bomb plant. Breezy gets the better of him, so an 8-4 lead to NRG. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the upper bracket match to decide who secures that playoffs spot for Group A. Currently, NRG sitting 1-0 up after they confidently closed out their map pick of Inferno just around about half an hour ago.
Of course, the loser's still not removed from this this group, though. They get to face the winner of INTZ versus Imperial. Of course, being a loser's match, an elimination match coming up tomorrow. But 8-4 here for NRG, already off to a stunning CT start. A-Stream update for you guys as well. United fell to Furia earlier on, 16-11 for the Brazilians. So we're seeing some Brazilians find success here in day number 1. Oh, nice nades up B, or up Ivy rather. We do have Envy 6-0 up against Furia as well over in that best of 3 for the winners match on their stream. So Envy continuing their dominance, it seems, Harry. We'll keep you guys updated with that, but for now, Bravado look to rotate round. They have players up in the B halls. Ethan's one is duel down Ivy, and there's a second man here. He can't afford to die, but JT wanted to escape to regroup with his team. Unfortunately, it will end in his demise. Bravado going down into Pop Dog. Ethan's not here this time.
Yeah, Ethan constantly losing those fights down in Pop. I think he's finally realized, you know, he's just going to give this portion of the map up and instead try and add some value elsewhere. Fugly looking like timing almost got the better of him, but he does flick back and check Sonic. Now down the ramp, going to be Detroni offering himself up next. Molotov falls from Cirque. The trap round from Breezy should seal Bravado's fate in this round. He's the fail-safe, the linchpin, the man. If all else fails, you've got him there. But Ethan, holding his ground, takes back control of Pop Dog. He wasn't able to hold it from the inside, but from the outside looking in, he did fantastically. 9-4, but a bite back on the cards for Bravado in this round, and a chance at salvaging a respectable half, all things considered.
Yeah, that's why they're calling in their first tactical pause as well. This is the round. This is the most important one so far of the half for them. Try and assert your dominance and get this 9-6 half. If you lose this, you're going to be struggling to even buy up in the final round. So it's all or nothing right now for Bravado. AWP is thrown over to Detroni. Well, he's only 3-10. He's had a couple of key opening picks. 2 of his 3 kills, you know, being opening frags to actually secure Bravado a round earlier on. And we're going to need him to do that more than ever, with Cirque starting to reign dominant over these South African players. He's 12-5. Let's see what Trony's got.
Ooh. Mollied out. Not quite able to find anything on that initial peak, and yeah, you have been right in pointing out Detroni. Might not be top fragging in the server, but the kills he's had have been very impactful for Bravado. One issue they're going to face is Ethan finding his confidence, finding his footing a bit on this map now, in spite of a slow start. Cirque just not afraid to try and tangle with the beast over in main, and Detroni does fall off the angle. Ooh, flash goes over, and Sonic almost able to find something there. Cirque gets spotted, holds position, flash rains in, and the timing on that is perfect. Ethan helping out Cirque that much more as he blinds the Trony on that initial peak. Cirque not looking done with one, wants to try and challenge for a little bit more, but Sonic will punish him, perhaps gets a little bit too big for his boots. Breezy just misses the timing out from Ivy, and that's Ethan fed to the Wolves. Fady now on the opener is pincered in somewhat. He's going to turn back round. Breezy finally able to mop up the man that he let slip by, and now it falls all onto him in a 1v3, turned 1v2. Oh, and elusive. Oh, he spots him. Doesn't want to go back and take that fight anytime soon. JT's wrapping through the B bomb site. A very big gamble indeed. Will it pay off for them?
It might just do. Elusive's fallen back so far that Breezy hasn't got this kill and therefore will not be able to jump on the bomb. The timing is there for JT and he should have the lineup, but he spotted Breezy escaping through the connector. Didn't have the confirmed kill, but now he does. JT, 3 kills in that round. Huge performance from him. Very unfortunate for NRG that they let that one man slip in through Ivy. Without that, I think NRG might be able to close out the round, but that Ivy push was so well timed. 5 rounds of Bravado. As we said, they needed that buy because otherwise their money would be in shambles. And now we go into the last round of the half on level pegging, both teams having money. AWP twofold for NRG. They've got both. The Trony not having one of his own, but it's not the end of the world here. You can see even in that round, Detroni trying to mind game Cirque by jumping up on that platter, but over in T-Con, Cirque was so ready for it, pre-aimed it before Detroni was even in position.
Still, I mean, regardless, right, you take a look at the Bravado side here and you think about the performance back on Inferno, right, it was a much slower start. They managed to get, what, 3 rounds in that first half? So, already fielding a good scoreline for Train, a very competitive one over on the T side and a chance to go 6-9 on their map pick. I still feel confident that we could see a 3rd map crop up here.
Very much possible, and this could be the swing round to put Bravado in that position. Of course, the pistol is going to be extremely important post this, but we know how inconsistent teams are at winning pistols, how random it can be. So anything's possible there.
I mean, also, you think about, for NRG, Fugly, right, was someone, you think back to Inferno, had a very, very strong game there. You think about Nuke earlier on in the day, same story. He had that round on this map where he gets the triple kill. But other than that, he's only managed 5 kills in this entire first half. So, you know, aside from the 3 that he got in 1 round, has been a bit of a slowdown from him. That B-bomb site, while he salvaged it a few times, it's also looked a little vulnerable. We've just heard that he's got a technical problem right now with his mouse. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why he's sitting down on the board. Who knows? So we're just working on fixing that, and then we'll be back in to the last round of this first half. One thing I'm hoping is, you know, on the back of Ethan, I think, sorry, it was Breezy letting Fady sneak down through Ivy in the round prior. I'm hoping that doesn't get at NRG's head at all, you know, doesn't cause any problems there. Small little lapses in communication like that sometimes can show cracks within a team.
Forgive and forget, though. That's the motto. It's not the end of the world. This is still a good scoreline. You still map up. Everyone makes mistakes, Harry.
That they do, Hugo. That they do. I was just having a little sip of my ESL's patented Magic Miller's Go Faster juice.
Bit of an update as well over on the other stream. We've got Envy sitting 7-2 up in that winners game right now. Nifty topping the charts 9-3. And Cutler sitting close behind as well. So that's actually kind of cool to see. Envy finding a lot of success against the Brazilians. And, you know, like we saw them earlier, we saw them absolutely tear apart Team 1 16-3. So for them, you know, sitting 7-2 up, that's not really a surprise. Although a completely different team. I'm just joking, but that's still impressive.
Yeah, you know, I think for me, as we kind of touched upon, right, this MV roster is a curious case. You know, I'm anticipating that we see them go pretty far at this event, though, for the reasons we kind of touched upon earlier. I think NRG, they've come into this, they're looking good. Bravado haven't been disappointing me either. The other talking point for me has been Furia. I kind of discounted them a little bit. I'm not entirely sure why, right? They're a team that have showed good results as of late. They are a pretty talked about team coming into this event. I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table. Now, I believe you just said they haven't gotten off to the best of starts versus MV.
No.
You know, certainly not how you'd imagine. But whose map pick was that?
It's Inferno, so it is Furious map pick, and they're down 7-2. So yeah, that's
certainly not the start you want.
Envy are on CT side Inferno, so whatever. We'll give it some time. But again, like Envy, same case against Team One. Both rounds that Fury have had, actually that's changed, but you know, rifle rounds before that have been reset. So Envy, you know. That was something they did very well against Team 1. The second we saw Team 1 win a round, Envy were instantly just cracking back on that and not letting the economy build, which can be so difficult to, you know, maintain on T-side Inferno. If you don't have the utility, you're going to struggle to win those rifle rounds. But yeah, convincing win so far. We'll keep you guys updated. And these are both the last best of threes of the night as well. We do have 8 best of threes tomorrow as we get into more B-stream action, both obviously this being in the Americas and the Asian minor. What's been your favorite minor so far, Harry?
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
For me, probably, obviously I'd have to say the European minor. Yeah, I think it was like a super stack with lots of upsets, Mouse Sports going home. There was a lot of great storylines, Valiant's looking great. You know, obviously Ents going through after losing to North in that not upper bracket match, semi-final rather, I think it was. Might be wrong there, but no,
Ents went through top seed of the playoff. They won the minor, so they might have lost in their group. I think they came through the group in second.
No, they topped groups.
Ents didn't lose the series.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I was trying to. Who did I think about?
What? What was the game?
Of course, yeah, they beat North, and that sent North down into the matchup versus Vitality.
Which Vitality won. North are going to the third place decider playoff.
But I'm looking forward to that. You know, that's something that we always, you know, that we've both been really looking forward to. CIS minor was one that was quite surprising for me as well. There was a lot of interesting stuff down. I really like this Windstrike team. I think they play some very good CS for a team that culminates, you know, like the old with the new, and I like that, right? You got World Edit in there. Like I was a big fan of him, right?
Big frag of Norbert.
Yeah, Norbert, who just looks incredible. I've been such a fan of that guy ever since we started casting him. I was like, well, this dude is just a little too good, you know, like yeah, we'll say that that's what I said, but the first time I saw him play.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think all the minors thus far have been incredibly stacked. I can't think about one where we, at least a minor circuit of prior, where we've had so many teams that could win.
I think it's not only that they're stacked and we've had upsets, but we've had like new teams and different teams that we wouldn't usually expect to see in the minor. Like obviously, you know, a lot of roster changes go through every single minor, every single major circuit, and you know there's always new teams around. But like we had Valiant's debuting on LAN here, that was a really cool one. Like a bunch of ragtag misfits able to get some big upset wins. We've obviously got Zaiwu in his first minor circuit. Yeah, we've got loads of crazy storylines.
That was such a cool story for me, right? The fact that Zaiwu, it's his first ever like minor circuit to be a part of with this team Vitality, and you know it would have still been impressive had they won and it had been, you know, he just done all right.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they won. He was the only guy on that team to even finish positive at the end of the event.
He won.
And yeah, I mean, it was the victory for Vitality, but really it was like a personal victory for Zaiwu, right? Because in every one of those games almost, he was there, top fragging in the server, having just these amazing performances. And one of the reasons why that feels even better is, you know, like there was a lot of talk around Zaiwu as a player before he joined that team. Everyone was really kind of rallied behind him, but here the whole issue of you know, wanted to finish. I think it was like school.
Yeah,
wanted to focus on his education. Didn't want to commit to anything until then.
I'm so glade he waited though.
Yeah, right.
We were all very upset when he waited because we were like, oh, we want him in the circuit now. We want him playing, but you know, he gave us some time. He really thunk about what team he wanted to join. And obviously, it was pretty cool as well because we came from like casting MDL, where we were casting him in AAA, where he was just carrying that team so hard as well, and we've seen him like grow since then. So it's been really exciting.
Yeah, right. I mean, you recall he obviously played in the show match at the London Major, and everyone was hyped around that. They're like, you know, what's it like to play in front of a major crowd? Well,
I don't know.
Well, but now we get to see him play in front of a major crowd for real after having earned the spot, right? So I can't think of anyone else.
Whoa! You saying show matches don't count, Harry? You're discounting all of your performances.
Yeah, I mean, the one round I got to play back in Sydney.
Are you on HLTV for playing that one round or not?
No, of course not. I wouldn't want one. I wouldn't want my legacy to be like, oh yeah,
he bought dual Berettas and died.
Plus, I think that I'm pretty confident that just after going 0-1 and then never playing in a game ever again, that would make me physically the bottom-rated player on HLTV. So to come in beneath, you know, a few names on that list. I mean, almost anyone, but you know, you look at someone like Bot Bardolph, to come in down beneath him would definitely not feel great, especially after the amount of times I've carried him to a hard win in matchmaking.
You'd probably be above James Banks, considering I've seen his matchmaking performance. We played with him last week. You know,
yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure that he would be
the Jameses, the Jameses, as they're known.
Apart from Avant-Garde, you know, the James.
Take
away the S, suddenly they're nuts, right?
You drop the S. Yeah. Maybe we'll just see Kenny from now on. It won't be Kenny S anymore. Just Kenny, or no more Nico M. Just Nico.
Almost like you get top 3 in the world or something.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was another cool story out of CIS was the fact that you have Nico's cousin playing over there. Not CIS, rather in EU. You have Nico's cousin playing over there in Team Valiant's Hunter. What a performance from him. He was such a talking point of that entire team.
I think Valiant's going to kick themselves for not going further in this event, and like that's fair enough. You know, I'm sure you had higher expectations of yourself, especially with some of the wins they got, like 2-0ing Mousesports, beating them in a 16-14 in their opening game. Like you had some crazy wins, and it must hurt to not get any further. But like if they were listening, I would just say like you should keep powering on. You know, you've got a sick team, you've got a great future.
Not to mention, I think you can say with almost confidence they got one of the hardest paths through the minor of any team.
Undoubtedly.
You know, you had to play versus Mousesports
twice.
Right. It wasn't just once. They had to do it twice. You know, and then who did they play in the semis? It was North off the top of my head, I believe they lost to.
They lost to.
It was Vitality. Yeah, and then they played them again. It was they got the rematch versus Vitality after losing to them the first time around, and they got bested once more. So. Yeah, that was always a shame. You know, I think losing the Vitality with the form that we saw ZywOo in at least wasn't the most disheartening thing.
Not like one you should really be too upset with. They did qualify, so you know that was something for Vitality, and actually coming through in second place as well. But we are getting back in. No more of our rambling. We do have train underway. The last round of the first half. Here as we see Fugly back with a mouse in his hand and an AWP as well. We've got 3 of them, Harry. Oh no, he's got Cirque's mouse now. That's what's happened. 3 AWPs for NRG in the last round of the half. Full AKs for Bravado. No counter to this. And Fugly playing close B as well. It really does feel like Cirque.
Well, let's see if the triple AWP setup prevails here for NRG. It is very rare that we see this ever. But they're looking to try and make it work. Actually, we've seen kind of these crazy AWP purchases a few times throughout the different minor circuits thus far. Obviously, out in EU, we saw Valiants pick up the quad AWP on Dust 2 versus Team Vitality. Certainly don't see that every day. So NRG, they've toned it down a notch in comparison to their European brethren. Looking like Ethan wants to try and challenge a Pop Dog. And oh, this time he's good for both. They might have been besting Ethan here time and time again, but he finally rises up, finally gets revenge, and what a moment to do it. Cirque, tiny little angle, but Fady goes walking right into his crosshair, read very well. That leaves Sonic and Detroni standing in a 2v5.
38 seconds. The flash is still raining in. Ethan winning his duel as well. 3rd kill of the round from Ethan. He's had an absolutely stellar half. as he always does. And Detroni, yeah, he's going to get one tapped as well. Ethan, 4 kills in that round, 17.5, and 10-5 is the score on the doors for NRG. Looking damn good, but it's still Bravado's map pick, and there's a chance for them to pull things over on the CT side. So let's see if they can do it after the break.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
Second half about to be underway. NRG sitting 10-5 up at the half and 1-0 up in this series. So just 6 rounds away from a decisive 2-0 victory here. But Bravado not looking to let them get away with that. Now moving to the CT side on their map pick of Train. Let's see if they have what it takes to grind this one out and take us through to map number 3.
Double molly on NRG. This is great for the post plant. We do have a smoke on JT, so that needs to stay standing, as Fady is. 2 kills from him. He goes back in for a third, but eventually gets punished. And either way, this flank has opened up. Detroni coming in on the wraparound. Ethan's going to hit the shot. Great aim. But now he knows that they might be stacked up on B because of the flank from Detroni. So NRG might potentially double back from this one. You can see them checking their backline. Yeah, now the call's been made, the switch up has been employed. The issue is with this is their setup and their nades were for the B play. So they go for a late round A execute. The Molotovs, they need to find a purpose for those instead of the post plant. Still possible. Not as easy a lineup as there is on B. Now they're going to creep in through T-Con, and there's no one here. We've got that push up in the B halls from Elusive, so both these players have rotated into A. Good call from Bravado, but will it be enough?
Well, JT going to get spotted, but it's Sonic to steal the spotlight, at least for the time being. No kills coming through for NRG. That's going to cause them some problems. They have to try and deal with this man on the bomb site. He's got their attention, and that's allowed Elusive to push in from behind. Daps' time on this earth is looking limited as Bravado managing to find the pist around here on Train. He will move up 6-10, and a chance to grind their way back into this one early on. Should be gifted a 7-5 lead off the bat as NRG look to take the eco here.
Get that third round buy up, get the AKs and everything. You don't need the AWP that early into this T side, knowing that Bravado shouldn't have it either. Bit of a B rush, bomb plant attempt. Only Fady here, so this should be a plant coming in from NRG. There's no Molotov to stop this. Fady going to cross because he's got his teammate close by, and they're going to run through the upper. So Fady spraying and praying. He connects one, Detroni drops another, but this bomber is still going to make it to the site. Oh, Cirque! Only chance for NRG to get this plant, but instead he'd rather take the fight, and wow. That's why by head armor. What? Oh, I definitely think he could have committed to it there. There's no way you're going to get any more kills with that Glock. So almost seemed like he thought he had got the plant, but getting off it just at the last second. 10-7 now. But no bomb plant, not the end of the world. You've still got the buy from NRG. You still have full AKs. And Bravado are yet to have an AWP.
Yeah, no AWP for either side as Bravado do just elect to keep the rifles out in this round. Obviously, Bravado desperately trying to claw us through to nuke. That will be map number 3 if they manage to get us there. NRG not looking keen on that idea, and they're going to be setting up a default early on.
What?
Ethan.
Through a smoke and a wall.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Let's just put some more problems in Ethan's way.
Second smoke.
Just that more to shoot through. Where we see smoke, Ethan sees potential. JT gonna get finished off. It's Ethan, the smoke monster. He emerges and shuts down another man. Breezy wrapping in through Ivy looks to shut this whole round down, and indeed he will. Elusive and Sonic both drop. They were trying to save for Bravado. The idea of a save now becomes a fleeting one as only Detroni remains. Yeah, had they managed to save those 3 rifles, a buy would have been available in this coming round. They would have looked good. They can still salvage one together, but it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. We're going to have to see a couple of players take the hit in terms of the firepower. They don't even get away with that AUG on Detroni. So now it wouldn't surprise me if they do just have to take this maybe partial investment at most.
Yeah, you could even justify just a full force here, really. It's a very awkward situation to be in for Bravado. As you can see, they were so committed to that save. It was a good call to make. They fully backed off the second those players got into the bomb site, but the long Ivy flank found so much success. 3 kills off the back of it. Full eco here for Bravado. They want to get a buy up ASAP. Not really focused on winning these CZ rounds, and that's fair enough. Full setup back towards Ivy. I love this this kind of stack with these USPs because it's you know, there's no reason not to do it. You're going to catch a player off guard if they commit to a fight. Cirque cannot see what he's getting shot from, but I think he realizes now. Back Ivy. And they'll have to reposition, but the thing is now they're not peeking together, and this is going to get very difficult to actually convert, and he kills Breezy, running out of ammo. But he will go back in for a second, eventually getting dropped, but it's the only casualty in that round from NRG. In fact, the only casualty in 2 rounds, so they have so much cash, and we're only 2 rounds into this half. 3, actually. 4. I got there in the
This will be the 5th.
Yes.
It's all good, Hugo. It has been a long day. You know, you've been here a little while. You've been awake for
24 hours.
Yep.
I came in the studio extra early.
Real early, just to make sure there were no power issues, and clearly didn't nail down your job 100%. We will be docking it from your wages. It's all good.
I'm a volunteer anyway. It's okay.
In that case, we'll be billing you in the post. Well, in this round, Sonic, that would have been a wonderful opener had he got it. Clay pigeon shooting down here on Ivy, but it doesn't lead to anything just yet for this Bravado side. Slowly but surely, Breezy is aggressing through this smoke. They can't get too complacent. They can't leave Ivy open because Breezy's already through, and JT hasn't seen him yet. Uh-oh, Breezy in the back line, and now things could turn problematic for Bravado. Breezy gonna get spotted, but he's still able to pick up one. And now just his presence here causes so many problems. Elusive's had to try and take up position down in Old Hell. He finds himself in a very awkward spot. They try and take the fight, they lose it, and now Fady alone at this B bomb site, bested almost immediately. Sonic trying to do what he can from the connector, but Breezy, the gift that keeps on giving for NRG, 13-7 as they decimate the ranks of Bravado in that round.
That's such a big brain play for Breezy, and the reason why is after he gets the first kill, because he's killed the connector player, it looks like he's wrapped into CT spawn. As a result, the B players are preoccupied with thinking their backline's being pushed while it's actually their front line, and also the Ivy players think he's rotated CT, so they start rushing Ivy, and he gets 2 kills. Like, that's so intelligent from Breezy. Just being there, just his presence is scary enough for Bravado that it makes the round completely fall apart. 13-7, no money for Bravado. NRG, they are really ramping up this T side, Harry. 3 rounds away from a victory in 2 maps, and this might just be one of those 3. Although JT started things off, the issue is it's just pistols for Bravado, not a lot to play with. If they can get the second kill and grab the guns in T-Con, there's a chance, but Ethan wants to defend it. Does not want to give away these kills. Fady has pushed up on that flank, and he might be able to get behind these B players. Issue is they've already started to get onto the bomb site. Breezy gets his first kill of the round, and now Fady's going to come into play. No one's watching their backline. Oh no, he whiffs. He drops the bomb eventually, and Fugly goes down as well. Worth it for Fady. Looked dangerous for a second, but he gets it done. And now it's got to be these 2 A players to finish off the job.
Breezy's on 3 right now. He is just on it. Oh, Ethan, good night to JT as he makes that look almost too easy. And that does leave Fady up in this 1-on-2. What a tap. We've seen a few of those today. Fady on this wrap round, as you mentioned, he whiffed the initial volley. He was able to pull it back to this now, but they just wait for him on the ramp. That push comes through, and they've read him like a book. 14-7, Hugo. You pointed it out, NRG just 2 rounds away from taking this series in a 2-0 fashion, locking that spot in the playoffs and sending the message that NRG this time, they're not to be underestimated.
50 kills between Ethan and Breezy, both on 25 each. 32 on the other 3 players from their team. Pretty crazy stuff, considering we're not even done with the game. Fast Ivy play from 2, NRG. Quick into these halls, and Sonic's here with the AWP, but no one going to be fighting him early on. They actually go just duck below the smoke. Oh, the head is there. Well, it was there until Sonic gripped it clean off. Daps is dead early on, but Cirque does get a bit of revenge down Ivy. NRG want to execute onto this A site, and JT's been forced out the pop dog by the Molotov. Now this Ivy is still contained with NRG players. Bravado aware.
Yeah, important thing to note there is they hear the molly clip the man that was playing pop dog, so they know that he's rotated out of that position. They hear him fall back. Cirque didn't spot anyone either, so they might read that he's repositioned into main. Elusive looking like he's going to try and catch the timing on this Ivy play. Fady holding off from the bomb site. Could be in a world of hurt, but Elusive pulls through. They do manage to mop up the players inside of this bomb site, and Fugly on a 10. Oh. Ethan finishes off the last man, and NRG map and series point as they salvage that round back from the clutches of defeat.
Yeah, huge round for Fugly as well. 10 kills so far, so not that many, but think about how much of a monster he was on that previous map. And I mean, there's not many kills left to find when 2 of your teammates have 50 combined. 15-7 for NRG, and it's looking like it's about to be done unless Bravado have anything left, any gas in the tank. This is still a respectable scoreline for Bravado. You do have to remember they are facing the top team in the tournament. But just one tier above, it seems, right now. NRG are just looking so good. Again, a play towards B. Ethan going to be met with Fady down the ramp. He's waiting for a timing peek here. Detroni's mollied off. Fady going to go for it, but there's 2 on the angle. And now Detroni does the same, but it's the same story. Both of them tagged, both of them held back. Fady tries to line up 1. That's the bomb. Fady's running out of ammo, but he does have Detroni side by side. 1 kill apiece might not be enough, but this flank could.
We are looking at JT to try and make the difference as he slowly but surely rotates it through ramp. Cirque's going to check it and is able to win that fight. No. Breezy catches the timing onto Elusive, and now Sonic 1v2, the man that we always talk about from Bravado. Left with a lot on his shoulders, and he has to try and show us exactly why. There's the first kill, and almost onto Fugly through the smoke. The time ticking down and working against him. Taps on the bomb, forces the peek, and Sonic's going to land the shot. Without a kit, there's no time, and Well, he knows it. We know it. NRG 16-7 as they pick up train. That will be the victory for the North American squad. They take it in a convincing 2-0 fashion, and they lock in that playoff spot. They're not looking for a repeat of London. They're looking to send a message, and they've done exactly that here on the opening day of the Americas Minor.
Yeah, Poland is looking like their favorite country right now, it seems. One step closer and only 2 best-of-3s away from a guaranteed qualification to the major. Only 1 best-of-3 win away from, even securing their 3rd place, which would, of course, mean they would play in that extra qualifier spot. But I don't think NRG are going to be fighting for 3rd place. I think they're going to be coming in top if they can keep this form up.
Yeah, most definitely. What we could do is now we can bring up these brackets, take a look at how the rest of the games have transpired. For those of you who are just joining us, all the games over here on the B stream are done. Let's recap the day, though, Hugo. This is Group A. NRG kickstarted the day with a convincing 1-0 start over Imperial Esports on Nuke. We got to witness that one firsthand. Bravado Gaming winning out over INTZ.
And just to clarify, it's not rigged. Bravado haven't immediately won their game versus Imperial. They still have to play. Oh no,
yeah, Bravado shouldn't be there. That should be INTZ.
Yeah,
so no, in a way, it is rigged because Bravado are there. That is where they're meant to be. They drop down from the upper bracket. They have to play versus the winner of Imperial and INTZ. That transpires tomorrow with NRG already locking in that playoff spot. We'll be seeing which team joins in and works alongside that North American squad. Taking a look now at Group B as we bring this one up onto our screen. Somewhat throwing production under the bus because they didn't say it was ready, but here we go. They're very, very quick on their feet today. Like to keep everyone tested, Hugo. Team Envy going to be taking that first win of the day. And obviously, we already saw Furia and E United go the way of Furia Esports just a little bit earlier on.
And right now, Envy are 11-9 up against Furia, about to make it 12-9 in a 4-on-1 against an Eco. So it's looking good for Envy to be leading the first map. I don't want to jinx anything, but that is, of course, Furia's map pick with Mirage coming up next and Train as a finisher. So we are done here, but do head over to the mainstream right now. Head over to twitch.tv/ESL_CSGO and check out Envy versus Furia. You get to see new Carrigan on Envy. You get to see drone fragging. You get to see Nifty going off, and of course you get to see some Brazilian boys in the mix as well. Definitely not a game you want to miss out.
No, not at all. I think you've said all there is to say about that one. You've got me hyped for it, certainly, Hugo. And that's still in the first map, so there is potentially a lot more Counter-Strike to be played tonight. You're not done watching it just yet. I know that, whenever I get in, I just love watching CS for hours on end, so I'm feeling happy knowing that when we're done here, we still have a fantastic series to go ahead and watch.
Well, let's run into the other room and get the TVs on. You guys should too. But I think for now, we're done and dusted with the B stream for today. We'll be back tomorrow nice and early on with 8 more best-of-3s. Lots of Counter-Strike across both the Asian and the Americas region. Do not miss out, and we'll see you then.